Shut up and sit down.
Boom. There you go. Happy days. Hello, gang. Colin here.
Hello.
Festa 67's workshop and his lordship, the guru in very self.
Hello. Welcome.
Hello, mate.
Hello.
How you doing? So,
I'm all right, mate. How you doing, Spud?
yeah, I'm all right, mate. I'm all right. Welcome to the Friday Frolic, folks. With me and him and all of that. Yeah. So I'll have a quick looky-loos in the chat before we start with all the pimpage, and then we'll catch up. So first in was Marcy saying hello. Hello, Muse. How you doing, darling?
Yes.
Pardon, mate. She says she's at a convention, so she's just popped by to say, hey, hello, Marcy. How you doing, darling? Fox is saying good evening, bleeby parps, or a good even blarps even.
Bleeby parps, I like that.
I've got no idea what a bleeby parp is. John Alec.
You know, it sounds good.
Yeah, John Alec is in, saying hello. Hello, John.
Hey, John.
How are you, mate? JC's in, evening, Colin Fox, and all in chat.
Hello.
PJ's in, says evening, Cole Fox, everyone in chat. Hello, PJ. Good show earlier, mate. He says, where, who? John Alec, how you doing? Graham is in, Graham Robert, saying hello. Good to see you back, mate. Jeff Light is in. Hello, Cole Fox, and everyone in the chat. Hello, mate.
Jeff.
Don't forget, folks, if you'd like to help support the channel, you can do so by heading over to patreon.com/Festa67's workshop, or you can click the join button below or the dollar sign to do a super chat, which all goes into a big pot and helps me keep the content coming for you all. Panzer Cat is in, saying Festa and Fox hugs. Hello, Panzer. How you doing, mate?
Hello.
So, Fox, how are you, mate? And
hello, matey.
how's Mum?
I'm all right. Mama Wolf is high maintenance as ever, but hey.
Absolutely.
When you get to 84, you're allowed to be high maintenance.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely.
Yeah, not doing too badly, buddy. How are you?
I'm fine and dandy, mate. I'm fine and dandy. Yeah.
Are you in a mojo desert like I am?
A little bit, yeah. I've been doing quite a bit of different stuff in the background, as you know.
I know.
Yeah, getting things sort of sorted out with stream programs and things and all of that. So I've been quite busy with that sort of stuff, to be honest with you. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Quite an interesting week, mate. What about yourself?
Yeah. Well, I'd planned on doing some more apart work stuff, but I will be openly honest and say I fell into my Xbox a bit this week.
Oh, did you now?
Well, I've not been feeling brilliant this week anyway. So
yeah, you've been a bit.
My mojo's a bit low.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been a bit early this week, so it was like, I'll just play on the Xbox. So I've been doing a bit of Far Cry 6 and stuff.
Yeah, right. Did a bit of video editing and uploaded that one for Wars.Models, so that's all sorted. Yep. They're happy with their video.
Your French tank?
Yeah, I've sprayed the H2 carbon, been filming that this week. That's all in the warming booth of colouredness. So I'll be putting up a small video and some pictures of that as a work in progress blog.
Lovely.
Part
Did you say vlog?
Blog.
I said vlog. What are you getting on? Influencer on us.
I've lost my train of thought now. Part two of the H2 carbon should be getting edited towards the end of next week once I've uploaded this bit of video I recorded yesterday. So yeah, just got to sit and voice it over during the week, and that'll be another episode of that. And I'm doing my Land Rover because I've been doing this on a Sunday with Dangerous Dave. And I thought I'd sit and do a bit of that because Kshatriya still hasn't spoke to me this week yet. So, so she's sitting over on the shelf there, and yeah,
she's sitting there like a queen, commandeering the whole shelf, demanding attention.
Yeah, she sat next to the London taxi and bus, just poking out enough for me to see her.
Teasing, a bit of leg sticking out.
Yeah, I'm kind of going to be, doing some chrome, some steel, some brasses, some coppers, and it's it's just waiting for her to talk to me. So I'll probably end up dropping her down and gloss blacking her and get a complete gloss black base down, and then I shall sit there, and then hopefully once it's all that one colour, the different shades will start talking to me. You know, I don't know what that is, but yeah.
What was the universal symbol of something Italian? Probably.
Yeah, it's the universal symbol of yeah. Anyways,
it's a spicy meatball.
Yeah. So
are you tempted to do any? Are you tempted to do any of the panels like C1 Metalizer or anything like that?
Yeah, a bit of the old C1 Metalizer is going to come in play, as well as proper wires, pulleys, sprockets, bits of chain, and so there's a fair
I did my big mega size unicorn all in C1 Metalizer, and it looked fantastic.
Yeah, there's a fair bit to do on it, and I just want to take me time and let it talk to me and tell me what it wants. That's just my weird little process I go through with them sort of builds.
You want the kit to work its hoodoo on you. And...
yeah. Can you let me know in chat that audio and video's coming through okay as well? That would be lovely.
Funko Freddy and Co is in, says howdy chaps.
Hello, Fred. How you doing, mate?
Yeah. Tonight, Matthew, I shall be carrying on with my Cadia stand set. I've got another squad of 10 to build. I've only built a squad of 10, so I've got my second squad of 10 to build. I built the Sergeant last week, so I'll try and build at least one dude tonight. Graham Robert might not be in for long. The new meds make him crash out.
Oh, bless you.
Joy of new meds.
Oh, dear. The world is full of new meds, mate.
Oh, yeah, we've all been there. Oh, I'm on these new pills.
Yeah. Yeah, mine change every 12 weeks because your body gets used to them. So I know that feeling, mate.
Oh, yeah. La, 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 la.
And it's always annoying when they give you one that really doesn't agree with you because you're like, yeah.
I mean, the meds I'm on at the minute, I've got 2 or 3 things going wrong with me at the minute that I'm like, is this just something going wrong with me, or is it because of the pills I'm on? I've got no idea.
Yeah.
And it's like, I really need to go to the doctor and just find out what these
also,
complaints are.
They've also got me on steroids at the moment because I'm in an MS relapse, as you know. Me and steroids really, really don't get along. And
yeah, I don't think they get along with many people, steroids.
No, that's it. But you've got to keep your system kick-started because otherwise it will get a grip on you. And so it's a little bit all over the place at the moment, honest. But dare I say it, it could be a lot worse. So you know me, you know me well enough. I have a good wibble, and then I'm going, right, what are we going to do Friday for a live stream then? Because
because needs must.
Yeah. I don't like letting it stop me what I want to do. A couple of times
it's like me. It's like when I used to, I remember said once before when I was at school, I used to be in trouble. I have to go and stand outside the headmaster's office to wait and see the headmaster. There'd be kids at the headmaster's office would be like really nervous they're going to get told off. And I'm like, I'm fine because he's going to call me in and tell me off. There's nothing I can do to change the fact he's going to call me in and tell me off. I can't change what he's going to say. I can't change the outcome. I might as well just chill.
Absolutely.
There's nothing I can do to change what's going to happen, so I might as well just wait for it to happen and just get on with it.
I do a lot for fellow MS sufferers through video calls and for things like that. And every now and then you have a conflab with them. And you always get the ones that are, I can't do this because, and I find that really irritating. And so you've got to change that mentality. You've got to go, despite having this condition, I am going to have a bloody good go. I said, I may be like Woody Woodpecker trying to get a screw to go in a hole and your pebble dash in the wall, but I'll have a good go. But I laugh at it. I'm like, oh, Woody Woodpecker or Edward Spannerhands or the Michael Flatleys, because
you just mock it. The best thing to do with an enemy is mock it.
Absolutely, mate. And it's the right way, I think.
Yeah. I've just got the wrong piece off the sprue.
I've got a Land Rover I'm building, dude, and I kind of really am pining for my old one now.
I regularly pine for my old Series 3. I've never enjoyed a car so much.
Yeah. I
love my current car only because it's I love the way it looks, but it's just a Fiesta at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But I pine for my Land Rover all the time. It was uncomfortable, it was cold, it was a nightmare, but I loved it.
But it was fun.
It's like I've never had a car where I had to literally run an extension lead out from the back door into the back of the Land Rover, and then take a little small fan heater and plug it in and just run it for 20 minutes inside the Land Rover just to de-ice it. Because the internal demister is pointless.
Paul says, AMVA okay. Thank you very much, Paul. Massively appreciated, mate. Didn't want to hold that chair in my hand anyway. I thought I'd just flip it over the bench, because you can.
Ping, there you go. Woohoo!
This is what I was saying to you before we went live. I'm going for the easy option tonight. No knives are involved. Yeah. Because if I had the Kshatriya, I'd be scribing and cutting out panel lines, and I'm a little bit twitchy today. And yeah.
Well, it's like when you were saying then about people say, "Oh, I can't do that anymore." Yeah. It's like, no, what you should say is, "Oh, I can't do that way anymore at the moment. I have to try it a different way."
Improvise, adapt, overcome.
Yeah.
You'll often see me and you'll be going, "You're right there, do what you're doing. I'm trying to figure out a new way of doing this particular task because I can no longer do it the normal way." And I re-educate my hands to do something differently, you know?
Yeah. It's like when I was, it's pathetic and paltry, but when my shoulder was knackered and I was in a lot of pain with that, and I couldn't sit at the bench, it's like, I didn't just go, "Oh, well, I can't sit at the bench, can't do anything, I'm going to sit here and be miserable." It's like, no, why not just play on the Xbox for a bit? Well, I can't do that either. Yeah. Okay, what can I do? I can sit at my computer and do computer stuff or watch videos or do internet stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll do that then. If I can't do the thing I need to do, I'll do something else that I can do.
With better best, that's how I work.
Yeah, I was about to say, rather than just sit here and feel sorry for myself, but I always feel sorry for myself. I get a hangnail, I want medical attention. Well, you know, hey.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I'd be lying if I said it doesn't give me the ump. It does. But I'll always have a good, better, best. So on a best day, I could do that. On a better day, it's that. On a good day, that. If I can't do any of that, I'll sit and do a bit of video editing or a bit of CAD work on the MacBook upstairs in bed. So I've always got something I can do to take my mind off what my body's doing to me. Because if you can't do that, then it's gonna win.
Yeah.
You know, you've got to replace a negative with a positive every time.
Well, that's when, like I say, when I couldn't work at the bench and I couldn't even sit and play on the Xbox because the way I was sat, the only thing I could do is sit and watch videos and do internet. It's like, well, it's kind of a waste of time just sitting watching videos and doing internet stuff. But at the end of the day, as long as there's something that distracts me from it, then it's something, isn't it? It's doing something, and I can do some social media stuff, and you know, it's not ideal, but it was something. Better than nothing.
Better than a smack round the head with a wet kipper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go on.
No, go on, mate. You carry on.
That's right. I was just trying to figure out what's going on with this. I've got a guy's head here, but I can't figure out what is. There's a shape on his face. I don't know if it's a piece of armor or hair or part of his helmet. So I'm just not going to use that face because I can't figure out what that shape is. It's like, I don't know what that shape is.
Joel Grit is in, saying hello, Colin Fox on chat. What's happening? What's happening, mate? I'm doing a bit of work on my Revell Land Rover.
Land Rover.
Hopefully you can see that. Let's put my slob screen up so that I'm keeping in time so I can see what I'm showing you. There you go. That's what I'm doing. Series 3 long wheelbase Land Rover, but I'm not doing it that colour. I'm going to be doing it in a bit of a kick-ass colour.
See, that colour is Ponzi middle class colour.
Yeah.
That colour is, I want people to think I'm a farmer, but I'm not.
Yeah, I'm going to be doing my own usual set of custom wheels that are my trademark for this. So I've got to scale them up slightly to fit the tyres. And then I'm going to do, a nice, how can I describe it without giving away? I'm just going to do a different paint scheme on it.
Yeah.
It's not going to be, you know, Larry, candy stripes and all of that lot.
Is it a scheme you've done before?
No.
No, okay.
No, it's a completely... No, I've done that. Once I've done it, I've done it. It's like, it's a bit like, you know, if I was to do another decal wrap of the Festa Workshop, I did it years ago on the transit van. Why do it again?
Is this what you paid you all that money for, to paint it in their livery? Is that what it was for?
So I couldn't sleep very well last night. I ambled back down here And
Amble.
kind of was sitting here having a looky-loo and going through me paints, and I hit upon the paint scheme that I want to do the landy in. So I'm like, oh, that'll work. I need to change the wheels, and it'll go with a theme. Once you see it, you'll get the theme.
Yeah.
You know, and
I'm intrigued now.
Yeah, I'm intrigued. I've got it in my head what it's going to look like. And I hope it comes out right, because
I was like, how many times have we had a great plan for colouring in our mind, and when we finish the model, we're like, well, yeah, I can see what I know what I wanted to do.
Yeah, all I'll say to that is Berlin ball tank. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know the one. Yeah.
I know the one.
That I want repaint. Mm.
I've seen some, let's say, tanks.
Yeah. Post it. Yeah. You get.
Now, don't forget, folks, because Colin clearly has. Don't forget, if you're watching this, we've got the live chat in front of us. I've got mine here. Colin's got his in front of him. I don't know how you can read white text on black, the nightmare, because that makes my eyes go wonky. I can't do nightmare text like that at all.
Yeah, but I find the bright screen is too much for my eyes, mate. I have to put my yellow lenses on.
It's like whenever I go to some wikis, and there's a few wikis that I use for various things, and one of them is always defaulted to black screen white. I was like, I can't read your wiki because it's just if I try and look at any other website afterwards, I'm blind.
Yeah, my entire Windows system, that's all on dark theme, and that it's the only one that annoys me is StreamYard, because that's got a white background. I wish they had dark mode on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an absolute pain in the arse. Josh is in from Revell Design saying, what's going on, everyone? Hello, Josh. Lovely to see you in from the other side of the pond, mate. Hope you're keeping well. Love to you and your family.
Yep.
Yeah, carry on, dude. You were saying?
Anyway, yeah, I was about to say, if you are watching this, we've got the live chat in front of us. So if you're watching this embedded in Facebook or Twitter or Patreon or somewhere else, and you want to join the live chat, please do, because Lord knows we'll need things to talk about, and you guys give us stuff to talk about. If it's embedded somewhere, click on the YouTube icon on the bottom right-hand corner of the player, the video player, and you can join it. You can carry on watching on YouTube and join the live chat.
There you go.
Don't forget, of course, if you want to catch our attention, we're both old. We've both got rubbish eyesight, and it's easy to miss comments. So either do @Festa67 or @Guru Fox in the chat, and it'll put our names in orange on our end, and we'll see our name. Or if you want to, you can do a super chat by pressing the little dollar symbol at the bottom of the chat window. It'll put your comment in a big colour box, but little animated thing on the screen. You'll get the guitar-y deal.
Yeah, you get a bit of air guitar, mate.
Air guitar. And you'd be helping Colin's channel out at the same time.
Absolutely. So. I did do all of this at the beginning when I did Pimpage.
Did you? I don't think you mentioned super chat, did you?
Yeah,
you did
I did. Yeah,
no,
I did.
I've done it twice.
That's all right.
I've never had someone complain about me pimping for them.
Oh, not at all. It's just... When you said Colin's forgotten, I'm like, I haven't, because I did it right at the beginning, just before I did the, because I said I'll do the chat before I do the pimpage.
I didn't think you mentioned super chat.
Because shock horror, I actually did the pimpage for this last night. You was impressed, wasn't you?
I know. It got me off having to do it. So I'm like, I don't have to do it now.
It's like, congratulations, you've finally done your own pimpage.
Well, I actually noticed because it was on there after I did mine. I'm like, oh, there you go. Cool. I don't have to do bad.
I am useless. Don't forget, folks, as well, what's in your belly? What's on the bench? What is your beverage of choice? And also, underneath the arches. There you go.
You've actually missed out the most important question.
Which
You're
is?
Supposed to say, what is the most important question, Fox?
Ask Fox anything.
No. Who is your father and what does he do?
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay.
You don't get that, do you?
I don't. No.
You've never seen. Oh man. You've never seen Kindergarten Cop?
No.
Good. How can you call yourself a male of over 35 years old, possibly, and you've never seen Kindergarten Cop at least once in the 1990s?
Didn't appeal to me, mate. That's why I didn't watch it.
Just leave. Go on. Bugger off.
I admitted in the hangout last night that I've never seen the Blues Brothers, and they all looked at me with disgust. I'm like,
there are some films that you, no matter your taste in films, you have to have watched.
Yeah.
And most Arnie films fall into that category. You have to have watched it at least once. The only exception is The Running Man, because that was pretty dire.
Yeah. Josh says tonight he's having Jack and Coke. Good, man.
Ooh.
Happy days. PJ's belly. Cheese on toast ×2 earlier. Bench is the 48th Buccaneer. A beverage, beer. Happy days, mate. And that's looking mint, that Buccaneer, mate. I saw the picture in the group there earlier, mate. Yeah. He's a bloody good model builder. He's a git, but he's a good model builder.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it makes him a git.
Absolutely.
I bet everybody else got the Arnie reference.
They probably did, but I'm useless. But then,
no, basically, every time I've done that, there is no bathroom. You've never actually got that reference, but you never said anything.
No, because I've been too polite.
I've got news for you. There is no bathroom.
Yeah, I just leave you going because I know you're having fun, and I don't want to spoil your fun by being a party pooper.
You've just told the internet you've never watched Kindergarten Cop.
It's all right.
It's not. I'm not saying it's a good film. It's just it's one of those films in the 90s that you just
but I kind of
had to have watched.
Didn't see the need to have to watch it, so I didn't bother with it.
Arnie, I sat and watched The Running Man and it was terrible.
Not every film that Arnie makes is something that you want to see, is it?
Yeah, but in the 90s, he was the man. 80s and 90s, it was like he was an Arnie film. Everybody loved Arnie.
He did one with Danny DeVito, and I'm like, yeah, it don't appeal to me, so I didn't watch it.
What's that, Throw Mama from the Train? I've not seen that one.
I don't know what it was called, but yeah. It's like, yeah, don't appeal to me.
Well, like growing up in the 90s, in the late 80s and early 90s, it was all about action films.
Oh,
you didn't want to watch chick flicks, so then it was action films.
Yeah.
Nowadays, we've got much better choice, but then it was like either action films or chick flicks. And I'm not watching chick flicks.
Yeah, it's like, yeah.
What was I going to say? Paul Di Tomaso says in, good evening, one and all. Nana Sunrise also says hello. Big hugs to Nana Sunrise.
Hello, mate. How you doing?
To both of you.
Yeah, Fox is just ashamed of me now. I can tell by his voice. He's just.
I just don't even want to know. I don't even know who you are anymore.
You just want to disown me, don't you, mate? Panzer says his belly's emptied. He's not decided on food. Bench multi rounds for a 4-3-2. Gets him.
4-3-2.
Beverage, the remaining dregs of a very cold mug of coffee. Oh, you on holiday again then, Pens? You're not working tonight, mate?
I like cold coffee. When I was on my tea kick last year, I discovered that I really like cold coffee. I can't stand cold tea. Oh.
See, I don't mind that. I can drink cold tea. Don't worry, mate.
Really can't drink cold tea.
Yeah, you're ashamed of me now, aren't you?
I don't even know who you are anymore.
I can tell because he's struggling to make conversation now because he is so disappointed in me. He's going to tell his mum. He's going to get her to hate on me. I can feel it all building in him.
You can feel it coming in the air tonight. I can't find my drill bit. I can't find my little tiny drill. Oh, it's in there, you fool. I can't find my drill bit, he says. It's in there with a flag on it to say barrels.
Big special.
It's the one I use for my barrels for these particular builds.
Right, so we've got a bit of that going on.
If anybody's got this Cadia stand set and you've built Astra Militarum and stuff before, the last gun barrels are smaller than normal. So you will not be able to use the smallest Games Workshop drill bit if you've got their thingy. Or whatever drill bit you normally use. You have to find a slightly smaller one.
Other drill bits aren't available. So I did
the drill bit. That didn't work, did it?
No, it didn't, mate. That's why I kind of left you hanging and singing it on your own, mate.
Well, sure.
It's because I'm working through tears at the moment because I'm feeling so despondent that I've let you down. But hey, I'm still not going to watch it.
Because she's going to believe. No, you can't watch it now. That's the whole point. You can't watch it now. You have to have watched it in the 90s when it was when it was the new Arnie film and it was endearing. You can't watch it now because it's like, well, actually,
I'm useless.
As his films go, it's actually probably one of the better ones because it is kind of amusing. It's kind of a silly, fun story. But,
yeah,
it's not an all-out action. It's like sometimes when action actors did this slightly less action film.
Joel Grit says, belly, baked sweet potato with tuna. Bench nothing as he's waiting for better weather. Beverage is tea. Always the tea, he says.
Got to tell you, baked sweet potatoes are so nice. If you've never had baked sweet potatoes, you've got to try it. They're like normal potatoes, but sweet. I just said that, didn't I?
Really? You did.
I can't believe I said that. They're like normal potatoes, but sweet.
Yeah, it's like Yeah.
Like the real thing, but petite.
Yeah. Oh, that's only for the German versions, is it? Really? So,
What?
Oh,
What did the Germans have that we didn't?
they had grab rails on the back of the seats.
Oh, yeah, they probably had some safety regulation that we didn't.
You know, I don't care. I've got to put them on there. I've cut them off the sprues, so they're going on there.
Come on now, a proper British Land Rover doesn't have any safety features other than a really simple seatbelt that doesn't actually do anything, as I know from banging my head on the roof many times.
Yeah, I've been a defiant little Festa.
You're right, little Festa, aren't you?
I am, mate. Yeah, but I can be defiant because I have got the secret thing of all secretness, haven't I? So.
You have. There is a big secret that Festa knows and that I know and that you lot don't know. And it's an awesome secret and you don't know.
And Inspector Clouseau's trying to find out, isn't he?
Yeah, Inspector Sagan.
Yeah. That's him.
He's not going to find out. Not from me. All I'll say is that when I found out, there may have been a girly squeal.
Yeah, because you didn't expect anything, did you? I just sent him a picture
No.
and went...
I kind of expected stuff, but not like as quickly as it happened. I'm like, oh.
Look what I got. And it's like, oh. It was that bad that there was instant messenger. Instant, do you want to hang out? And it's like, no, you could wait. And I left him in suspense for days, didn't I?
Yeah.
He's like, dude. I went, yeah, and...
Festa knows when he's done something momentous because I'm instantly replying to him on the Messenger.
Yeah, it was funny.
Unless it's important, if he replies, I'll be like, yeah, I'll reply to that in a minute.
PJ says, so Colin, I'm thinking chop the top off the Landy, turn it into a cabriolet, slammed it to the weeds with some big rims and give a very shiny coat of Ferrari red. Just saying. Yeah, well, I'm going to be getting another Land Rover kit. And I'm going to get the missus to go through the old photo albums to see whether she's got any pictures of my old Series 3 pickup, my tow truck, and I'd like to try and recreate it. So, yeah. So there will be another one of these getting done, which was the short wheelbase Festa-mobile.
What are you building up? I'm building up the tow truck. I hate you.
You do, don't you? I can tell. You know? I can tell you do, because there's disappointment in you, isn't there?
If you ever want to know how to go off someone, just keep doing what you do.
Mate, it's been a mad week this week, isn't it, mate?
Yeah.
The amount of times that poor computer's been stripped down this week. Don't
even go there. Nonsense.
Yeah.
List nonsense. I don't know.
I'm bad. I got it in my head. It's like, yeah, I'm just gonna make sure that eliminate every possible outcome. And I'm pulling the graphics card and everything, and I'm like, I really am going overboard here, but
yeah, it's like your computer was on the verge of turning into like Trigger's brush, wasn't it?
Well, I only had to undo the 5 screws of the motherboard, and it would have been an empty case. That's how much it was torn down.
Yeah.
Just to prove that Slobs is rubbish and it's not us. But it's funny, we've both done pretty much a similar thing this week, haven't we? Yeah. Where we've eliminated all possibilities of it being us, and it's now Slobs and their server. So
yeah,
our conscience is clear.
Yep. A few viewers like that going, we have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah. So you can have all of them together on one grab bar, or you can have individual.
Grab bar, la 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 la, grab bar.
Yeah.
Bit what Jaffe dinner today, or what are you having later on? Let me guess. Hang on, it's Friday. Sausage and mash and beans.
Yeah, I've got a load of
4 sausage rolls.
You know, I honestly don't know.
Ooh, mystery meat. Yay, it's the best kind of meat.
Because the cooker and the cooking process was ongoing as I came in, so built all them seats, so they don't actually, you need them ones, because it's... That's all right, because I might do a bit of modifying.
Do you know what's better than a Series 3 Landy?
Nothing.
Nothing. There is nothing better than a Series 3 Landy. Now, some people will argue that a Series 3 Landy is not the best car in the world, but you know what those people are? People that have never owned a Series 3 Landy.
Mind you, a Bowler Wildcat, that might do it.
No.
Because, yeah, I do like a bit of the old Bowler Wildcat. I'm
but the
tempted
thing
to put in the textured seats, to be
the
honest.
thing with the Series 3 Landy is it's British and therefore a bit rubbish, and that's what makes it so charming and endearing.
Yeah, it's typical British Wednesday car, Friday car even. Wednesday car?
I know. The moment I realised that if your legs are too long or too short for a Land Rover, you can't buy a Land Rover Series 3.
Yeah. Ross is in, saying hello, Ninja. How you doing, mate?
Because people don't realise this, but when you go in a Series 3 Land Rover, the seat is built into the hull. It's built into the floor pan. It's a square with a cushion on the top. You can't move it. If your legs aren't long enough, don't drive it. Don't buy the car. You can't.
33, 34 and 35.
I was very lucky that when I got mine, I could reach the pedals. I was like, yay!
So we got 60.
Enjoyed the car so much.
Oh, yeah, the good cars, mate. Everyone's saying hello to Ross.
Hello, Ross.
Yeah. One of them, innit?
Yeah. Now, don't forget, folks, we're old and we're rubbish. So if you leave us your own devices, we're just going to complain about the weather and like kids today and stuff like that. So for the love of dog, please ask us questions in chat. Give us things to talk about. Yeah. No religion, no politics, but ask Colin anything.
Yeah, and Fox will answer.
Well, yeah, probably. Colin will answer and I'll tell you why he's wrong. Yeah. But there you go.
Absolutely. No change there then.
And yeah, exactly. Start as you mean to go on, or go on as you mean to.
As long as you're not asking me for the storyline of Kindergarten Cop, because
I've got news for you. There is no storyline.
And he hasn't forgiven me for Monday's e-models thing either, the what's in store review.
I've got a plan for that, don't worry.
You know, your favourite TV show may have been my choice, and yeah, he's not forgiven me, folks.
The thing is, right, everybody in the world knows the theme to Airwolf. Nobody in the world remembers the theme to Blue Thunder. Why? Because it was rubbish. Nobody cares about it.
See, this is how it starts with him, see. I've sown the seed. This is a bit like me with shrinkflation.
I couldn't tell you what the theme tune to Blue Thunder is because, frankly, it was so boring I never memorised it. It was probably, Blue Thunder, it's not Airwolf, don't bother watching.
Oh, dear. Bless you. Don't ever change, will you?
Maybe it was Blue Thunder, you should be watching Street Hawk instead.
Oh, Street Hawk, blimey.
Yeah, that was terrible. 13 episodes that lasted.
Yeah. Not bad, not as bad as Manimal.
Oh, God.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, never mind Manimal. Do you remember, what was it called? Oh, there was one with the guy who was digital and had a little sidekick called Cursor. What was he called? Oh, I've forgotten the name of it now. It was like kind of Tron kind of thing going on.
Yeah. What was it called? Not Logan's Run, was it?
No, it was a TV series.
Oh, TV series.
Typical thing, but he had like a little sidekick called Cursor. What's it called? I can't remember. He had a car that turned 90 degrees.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, Manimal. Gee whiz.
Yeah. That's up there with Buck Rogers, isn't it?
Oh, God. Well, Buck Rogers was accepted by children at its time because children were stupid.
Yeah. Well, it's all about Tweaky as well, wasn't it?
Bitty bitty. But no, it was all about Colonel, Sanders, whatever her name was. Wilma, that's it.
Would be an ecumenical matter. Can't say I remember her. Yeah.
And here's another thing, of course. Street Hawk only ever had 13 episodes because it was so bad. And most people know the theme to Street Hawk and don't remember the theme to Blue Thunder. That's how bad Blue Thunder was. You know what I mean?
You're not a fan then?
No.
I'd never have guessed.
No. It's like Roy Scheider killed Blue Hawk and then went to Seacrest DSV and killed that as well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, what a reputation there, eh?
Let's do a series about a submarine. Let's not, shall we?
That's 33.
Let's have a look at the chat for you.
Larry Russo's in, saying hello. Hello, Larry.
Hey, Larry.
He says, yeah, Erin Gray. Yeah.
Erin Gray, yeah. Paul Lewis says to Panzer, look properly blind again. I can see your bench. Drysdale, Josh is off to the next stop before I get home later, everyone. Take care, Josh.
Yeah, you might. There you go, Josh. Thanks for stopping by, mate.
Ages ago. I just response to Paul Lewis saying about chopping the top off. Series 3 Landies, you can remove 3 or 4 bolts and just remove the roof.
Yeah.
And I nearly did it. I was like, I'm going to do it once summer's there. I was like, I'm going to take the roof off and then fold the windscreen down, because you fold the windscreen down
it
flat.
Was proper open top, wasn't it?
Yeah, and you could be like, I'm all safari now. I was like, I'm going to put the windscreen down. I'm going to take the roof off. It's not that heavy. It's only aluminium. Yeah. And then I thought, oh, wait, I'd need flying goggles.
Yeah, I did it once and gunned it along the Alton Road, and a blue bottle went straight down the back of my throat. It's like, yeah, won't be doing that again with the windscreen. Yeah.
I suddenly realised you'd need to have a pair of flying goggles or a helmet. And I'm like, oh, I can't do that then. Yeah. That's not going to happen. You think, I'll look really cool, this Land Rover with the roof down, and oh, wait, suddenly I don't look cool because I'm wearing 1940s flying goggles.
Yeah.
And then it's like, no, that's
yeah. Yeah, you pull up alongside a shop window and you see a reflection. You're like, yeah, it's probably not the best idea I've ever had there.
Like you see all these TV series, and they're always set in Africa. They've always got, like, you know, people in doing this in their like Land Rovers with the. It's like, no, because you drive around in this country and you get a face full of insects. In Africa, it'd be even worse.
Yeah.
Surely they weren't that stupid. I don't know. Maybe they were. I don't know. But it's like, oh, so I nearly did that. What's chat doing?
Great fun in that series.
Neon Man, says Joel Grit. No, it wasn't Neon Man. What was it called? Oh.
Google's your friend, mate.
No, I'm not going to do it now, but I'm going to try and remember. What's it called?
You're going to try and exercise your brain folds. You go careful.
I know. My brain folds need a bit of working out every now and then. Yeah. Retro Rabbit Studios in says shenanigans.
Hello, mate. How you doing, buddy? It's lovely to see you in.
Shenanigans have been called.
Yeah, absolutely.
Shenanigans.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Automan. It was called Automan. That's it. I knew
Automan. Can't say I remember that.
It didn't last very long, and I remember seeing about 1 or 2 episodes. I don't remember it being very good at all.
Yeah.
He had a little friend called Cursor, who was this little, like, literally like a little star shape that flicked around, and it was just floating. It was like, yeah, it was kind of rubbish. It was the same kind of
bad TV shows, weren't they?
Same kind of era as like Manimal. It was like, let's just get loads of things. No, Manimal was not good. God, do you remember Beauty and the Beast? Oh God, that was terrible.
Oh yeah, Beauty and the Beast. Rob Perlman, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was awful. Yeah. I don't remember what it was about. I know it's just.
I have absolutely no idea, mate.
No.
My sister used to watch it. H watched the reruns of it and enjoyed it, and I'm like, what am I watching? Yeah.
Well, do you know what I saw? I think it was last year. I tried 1 episode of. They rebooted MacGyver.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Really? Is it one of those shouldn't have happened moments?
Yeah, it was kind of crap. It was really terrible.
Really?
It was like, wow, that's an episode I'm never going to watch. That's an hour I'm never going to get back. Imagine taking everything about MacGyver and then not doing any of that.
Oh, right. Yeah, that bad.
Yeah, it was just kind of modern.
Yeah.
It was like modernised, because it's all like, you know, you can't really do MacGyver now because everybody's got like mobile phones and internet connections. It's like,
yeah. This is the trouble when they try to modernise these TV shows. It never really works, does it?
No. Well, the thing is if it's a beloved TV show, it's not. It's like nobody loves like the Rockford Files or the A-Team or Airwolf because of something just flew past my face. I don't know what it was. Nobody loves those programs because of what they were about. They love them because of the characters and the actors playing them.
Yeah.
No one loves the A-Team for its concept. Nobody cares. It's the characters. So it doesn't matter who you put in the remake of a TV series. If it's not the original actor that you know and love, you're going to hate it.
Yeah, well, it's like when they did the reboot for the film, wasn't it, of the A-Team? It kind of died a death.
Yeah. I mean,
because you can't relate to the characters because it's not the originals.
No, I mean, the characters, the funny thing with that was the characters weren't that, I mean, the actors playing they weren't actually that bad. It was like, I could have got used to the characters, but it was just a terrible story and not a good film.
Yeah, so. It was an absolute,
yeah,
I'm trying to word it in such a way that I won't get done on YouTube.
And they had, it was all right, but it was just like a very poorly written script, so I could have got used to the characters. What was it? I saw something the other day where it was a whole new cast doing something, and it actually worked really well. What was it?
Gonna go.
Can't remember. Can't remember. I remember watching. There was a TV series, and it was like a comedy document. It was a comedy drama.
Yeah.
About Dad's Army. But it was about the actors, and it was like how it was put together, and it had the guys that wrote it and stuff. And it was like a dramedy, comedy drama about them making the episode and how it was filmed and stuff. And the actors they chose to play the actors that were in Dad's Army, they actually did really, really well. Yeah, because it was half of it. It wasn't about this. It was like them sitting around doing the acting and how they figured out who played what part and how they wrote it and stuff like that. And how Jimmy Watts, the other guy, came up with the idea. And how like their first attempts at it weren't very good, and then they changed it, and it was like really good. It was like how it was made, and the actors they got to play the actors was like actually they're really good, well cast. Yeah. To the point that when they made that god-awful Dad's Army movie, I think they used the same actor for Captain Mannering. Yeah, I was just about to say, I'm sure there was a really bad Dad's Army film, wasn't there? Yeah, it was just a really bad Dad's Army film. Yeah. But the TV series, the TV one-off drama that was like about the making of it, the casting was so good. Yeah. Some TV shows are just best left, aren't they? It was like when they tried to reboot Starsky and Hutch when it was films. Oh, I don't know, they've done that. With what's his face? Can't think of his name now. It was that good. You don't remember that? Yeah, it was the guy out of 9. Is it Adam Sandler? No, it's God, don't say Adam. Can't think of his name now, but he was in Night at the Museum. And Owen something with a bent nose. Not bloody Brendan Fraser or something. No, wasn't him. No. I can't think of their names now. I'm pretty sure Adam Sandler, who is like the least funniest man on earth. I'm pretty sure he's only ever in Sony stuff anyway. I know the bloke's face. Owen Wilson was Hutch. Who played Starsky, James? It's the guy out of Night at the Museum. Can't think of his name, mate. He was also in Meet the Fockers. I know not of this man of which you speak. Yeah, I just can't think of the actor's name, mate. It escapes me. But Owen Wilson, no, he played Hutch. I'm trying to think of the one who played Starsky. But I actually have no memory of this at all, this movie at all, except in my memory, I've got some visual memory of Owen Wilson done up as Husk or Starchy or whichever. Yeah. So, yeah. It's like the reboots of Charlie's Angels. They were terrible. That was a terrible movie. Ben Stiller. Cheers, James. Ben Stiller. Oh, I can't stand Ben Stiller either. It's another irritating actor. But they're the kind of actors that only appear in movies that are the kind of movies that come out on like video collections where you get like straight to DVD. Yeah, you know, like we get three rom-coms on one DVD, and that case, that's the kind of films they do. That's kind of no Ben Stiller. Yeah, and it's like So we want to dry fit them, I think, to be on the safe side. Okay. 33, 34, 35. I was going to say something, and the thing I was going to say was, I don't remember. Underneath the arches. That's what he was going to say. I was going to say, I was going to say, I like peas. I like peas. Can you see up my nose? Yeah, so going to go to hell, aren't we, mate? Mm-hmm. Rabbit says the reboot of Quantum Leap isn't terrible. Oh. Isn't ... I haven't seen that yet. I think that's on HBO, and I don't get HBO, so. I have Paramount, I have Disney, and I have Amazon Prime. Yeah. Or is it Amazon Prime even? Amazonium Primula. Absolutely. Those are my options. Okay, so we want to join them. Are you streaming later today, mister? Any gaming or anything of that nature? Or are you chillaxing? Chillaxing. Well, I've still not set up Warhammer Sunday stuff yet, so
yeah.
And I might wait now while we're sorting some other bits and bobs out.
Yeah, let's just park it for a bit.
Yeah, but we'll go back to that. So
we can always catch up with it on a Frolic if you want to get that series finished. It's entirely up to you, but.
Oh, excuse me. Oh no, I mean just do Warhammer Sunday in general. Anyway, we'll go back to it. I just need to. I need to sort out the pre-roll and stuff.
Yeah.
So tomorrow, I really am enjoying streaming Far Cry 6. I'm really enjoying playing Far Cry 6.
Going all right, is it?
Well, I'm really enjoying the fact that I've got back into Far Cry. Because I played 3 and then 4 back in the day. And I thought, they're all right. And then I never played anything after that, 5 and 6. And then I think 4 or 3 was like the Xbox had a sale. I was like, okay, I've got a little bit of money, let's buy some games. And it was like £2.99 or something for Far Cry 3. And I'm like, I love that. And then I started playing. Actually, I'm enjoying this. Let's get 4. Then let's get 5. I've not tried 6 either. So I ended up getting all of them. And the formula is tried and tested. They've not really changed that much over the years, but you know what? They're just fun. And yes, it's the same formula, but I enjoy it because I can poodle around slowly. Just
it's how you enjoy playing them, isn't it?
Yeah. But it's like, oh God, the mongooses. Flipping mongooses in Far Cry 6. Oh God. Oh, hang on, I've just lost his head. Hang on. I had a head ping.
Oh, carpet monster alert. Dun, 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 dun.
What mongooses do. They curse every part of your existence. Right, torch time. I've actually got on my bench now a torch.
Oh, you ledge.
I got sick of losing things.
Proud of you, soldier.
No, that's a pebble. Why is there a pebble on the...
All right. No, that's only dry fitted because I've got to paint them seats, but for the moment, they're glued together in their bench seat-like format, so I'm happy with that.
Oh, it's a really good head, that, as well.
Okie dokie, that's for the German variant.
It's a really nice one with the wobbly helmet.
A
wobbly helmet. No.
Where's that?
There it is. Yay, found it. With the torch of finding.
So they go together on that range.
Do they go together like a horse and carriage?
Yeah, like an horse and carriage. There's a frame there somewhere. Nowhere. That's a bumper. Have a looky, Lou.
I've got a very important question for the chat.
Yeah, go for it.
Are you ready? Very important question. Yes or no? Yes or no?
There we go. Okay. Right. Is that it? Yeah, that's it.
I've got quite good at like gluing two things together and then like scraping the join away within like 5 minutes.
Oh, good for you,
normally
mate.
You think you have to leave the glue to dry for like an hour before it's like, no, actually, if it's small enough and you're careful enough.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, as long as you don't slaver it on, you should be all right.
You can do it in mere minuten. I'm putting my little belt straps on, again, off camera, of course.
Oh, you ledge.
Ledge.
Right. So we want them off of there.
Yeah, the flipping mongooses in Far Cry 6. Oh, dear God.
Is that annoying as eyes on windscreens?
No, it's like, where's Far Cry 6 set? Caribbean Island. Fake Caribbean Island.
Phil Bolton's in. Hello, Phil. How you doing, mate?
Put it this way, you've got sharks, crocodiles, coyotes, wolves. There's probably a bear there somewhere.
Yeah.
We've got like pigs that attack you on sight. And the most dangerous animal on the whole island that gets you the most is the mongooses.
Really?
You're walking along, it's like this thing will just jump in your face and you'd be like, okay, I'm dead now. I've seen a mongoose take a rider off a horse and kill them both.
Oh, really?
Yes. Right, I may have to go and sort my wolf out.
Yeah, you do what you got to do, mate.
Back in a minute.
Yeah, no worries. But yeah, morning, Phil, mate. Hope you're doing all right, buddy. Lovely to see you in. Don't forget also, folks, that the brunch will be on at 2 p.m. UK time, in case you didn't pick up on it last week. So we're on that schedule now, and it's working well because we're getting to see some of our friends in from the States. So it's a more reasonable time for them as well. So, yeah, it's working out well. Next week on here, as it's the first week of the month, I want to try something. And I'm thinking of doing the Festa and Friends streams the first Friday of the month on the Frolic, as well as getting some of the friends in for the first show of the month on the Sunday for the Sunday Brunch Gallery show. So just changing up things a little bit just to try and keep things fresh. So if you fancy it and you're in the Zoom or a patron or a channel member, you've got a webcam and mic, you can come and join in the fun. So little heads up that it'll be a full house next week, hopefully, where we can just all goon around and see what you think. You can build anything you want. You don't have to be building at the bench. You can just sit there and chat. Phil says, thank you, Colin. He says, I'm doing okay, thanks. Glad to hear it, Phil, because I know you've had a bit of a time of it, mate, without going into your personal details, mate. I know you've had some ups and downs, mate, and it's lovely to see you back. It really is, because you are missed. You're one of the regulars, mate, and we all worry about each other. Except for James, because it's always James's fault. Go. A little bit of that. Ross is saying hello to Phil. Happy days, he says. So what have we got going on there? We've got to build it. It's the bench which is around here somewhere. Everyone's saying hello to Ross. Back seat. There it is. You might have seen them. Yeah, always nice to see Phil win. We've got that bit to go in. Happy days. So yeah, any of you there that are, like I say, in the Zoom and that, and fancy coming in next week, just hit me up in the Zoom chat. I'll put the link in there so you can see where it is, and yeah, you come and join us on air. Don't have to; it's not compulsory. Just a way of giving something back, isn't it? He says, all I say, he says, is thank goodness for medication. Absolutely, Phil. Totally get that, mate. Because, yeah, there are times, mate, it get right on your wick, can't it, mate? Bless you. Use the scraper to get rid of the biggest of the seam. I want to dry fit these bad boys and let them go off, and then I can pop them off the model when I paint it. So, just in case PJ's sitting there face palming, thinking that this is all glued together. It's like, yeah. Joel Grit saying hello to Phil there. Retro says, yeah, the reboot of the Quantum Leap isn't terrible. Ross was saying sorry for not being round much. Yeah, no worries. You don't have to apologise, mate. We tend to leave you alone. He says, as I sit here peeling away too much masking tape off my latest build. Yeah. Oh, the fun of masking. Yeah. We all love it, don't we? Right. Apparently that goes on there like so. Different. So what's your latest build then, Phil? Yeah, got a couple of little bits in there. I built them other 3 chairs, so they're not needed in this one. So might actually sit them in the back. Is there bench seats in the back? There might well already be bench seats going in the back, but if there ain't, there will be. Oh yeah, there is a set of bench seats. Yeah, I thought I'd put the comfy ones in the front because it's having a bit of a spanky paint job on it. And I thought, well, they're not going to have just the knackered old bog standard seats in there if they've done all that with the paint. So we'll have the comfy seats in the front, and the rest of them can have the cattle cart seats. Right, 74 is that one. That body shell's actually not that bad. I've got to buff it down to take the shine off of it, ready for paint. And I shall get that painted in the booth hopefully this week so that I can bring the body shell into play next week. With a bit of luck, I might even be able to get this all painted up by then and on. James says, random question. Where can I buy some decent tweezers that aren't too expensive for small photo etch parts? I got these off of the Amazon, these ones. Well, they're what I use for photo etch, because for me, I can adjust them and I can clamp them in place. Because if I get the twitches, then I'm not going to lose the piece, because I tend to be all or nothing with my grip. For me and tweezers, it ends up with maximum pingage. Or get yourself a photo etch pickup tool. One of those. It's got silicone blobs on it. You can use that to pick them up. Or you can use a wax pencil. One of them to pick it up with. So there's more than one way, mate. But if tweezers is your way, mate, Google's your friend, mate. Loads of different sets, but it's one of those. I've got various types of tweezers. I've got lockable ones. I've got reverse tweezers. Cheap and cheerful tweezers. But I do like them lockable ones, James. I must admit, I do like them. For me, they're quite user-friendly. Bill says, an Ultraman VTOL jet, a TV show I grew up on, back in the 70s. I'll get my words out properly today. Yeah. Nice little jet build, mate. Always goes down well, doesn't it? Yeah, so we'll put them in there. But yeah, have anyone else got any ideas on tweezers for James? You know, what do you folks use? Have you got your personal favourites that you use? Feel free to let him know. Like anything, you know, we all hit upon tools every now and then that work really well for us. So Bill says photos are coming soon. Yes, it's gallery show the 1st of the month, Bill. So that'll be coming up, mate. So keep an eye out and get your work in there, and I'll sit and pimp the bejesus out of it, mate. You know me. I love seeing everyone's work. I really do look forward to the gallery show. And this is why I was looking at getting more of the crew involved on it, because it gives them a chance to offer their opinion on builds as well. And we often chat about stuff like this in the Hangout. And I'm all for ideas and people sort of throwing suggestions my way. And it came up in the Hangout about doing some bits because I wanted to do the first weekend of the month as a Festa and Friends on the Frolic. And for those that can't make the Friday, I thought, well, I don't want them to feel left out. And I thought, well, me and Dave do the gallery show. So how about the first gallery show of the month is the friends can come in as well. So we can all sit and review the work and have a giggle doing it. So we'll see how it goes. If people enjoy it, I'll keep the format. If people don't enjoy it, I won't. I like changing things up and freshening things up. This keeps it dare I say, it keeps me interest, and it probably keeps the public's interest as well. So, yeah. So, yeah. You're getting into your photo etch, James, then you got a lot of it to do. PJ says, my view is that cheap tweezers are a false economy. Better to spend a little more on quality, and that will last a lifetime. Absolutely, PJ. Absolutely, mate. It's what works well. You know, it's what works for you. At the end of the day. What tweezers do you use, Paul? Are they display ones or, you know? Because, yeah. There's more than one way to skin a cat. But I got them. They was a giveaway. They were from a supplier. Dave Colley's Emporium sent me them as a little giveaway. These were my first lot of tweezers I got when I got back into the hobby. Recently, I got those lockable ones just to try to help me out with the photo etch because I do ping a lot. Yeah. Good plug for your patron there, James. Well done, mate. There you go.
I'm back.
He's back.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, there you are.
We was talking about tweezers.
Oh, yes.
What tweezers do people use? What are the best tweezers? Yeah. Yeah.
I've got like 100 millions of pairs of these Master Tools ones. Well, these aren't the Master Tools ones, but they look exactly the same.
Yeah, we've all got them, haven't we? Yeah.
But they're just a rip-off one. My favourite pair of tweezers is actually this pair, which I don't even know where these came from.
Yeah. Yeah, my favourites are my lockable ones, them ones.
Oh, yeah. So you can lock them at a particular grip.
Yeah.
I've also got a pair of reverse tweezers. I think everybody's got a pair of them.
Yeah. I've got the set of them with all the different angularities and all of that.
I don't know how, but I'm pretty sure that we've all got the same pair of reverse tweezers with the wooden bit in the middle, like a piece of kitchenware.
Yeah.
I might haven't got the wiggly bit on the end, but...
yeah, I've got the straight ones.
Funny thing is, right, do you know how often I use these?
Rarely.
Never. Very rarely.
Yeah.
Only if I need to hold something while I'm, say, driving it or something.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? We all like a set of tweezers. It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah. We hardly ever... You know what I use tweezers most for? Just pushing things around.
Yeah, but it's like anything. We all went on E-Models and got the same tweezers, didn't we? It's like...
Yeah. My little bits of plastic have flown away. There we go. There they are.
I blame Tony Fairclough.
They would be the right thing to do. If you want to blame Tony yourself, folks, please send an email to helgan35@geocities.com.
James says, sorry, didn't mean to mention anything of pimping, mate. That's all right. Take it seriously, mate.
What's that?
Wally. James was on about he had lots to do for his Patreon build. And I went, oh, nice bit of pimpage. And it's like, yeah. Oh, didn't mean to. It's like, dude, irony of it is, banter.
Irony of it is what? I dropped out there.
Yeah, banter. It's all about banter. Don't take it too seriously.
However, of course, by pimping your stuff on Festa's content, you have, of course, agreed to his contract terms, which is 10% of all profit from that pimpage goes to Festa.
Absolutely.
He's got to recoup his costs.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So he'll expect a check in the post now.
Yeah.
Momentarily.
And he does pimpage for our streams anyway, so.
Jolly good.
A favour returned isn't an issue, James.
There's me cocktail stick. There's me cocktail stick.
Bless you.
Cocktail sticks made to make thing pointy.
The mum all safely tucked up, is she?
Yep, she's all tucked up and away.
Bless her.
We'll be snoring within minutes.
Yeah.
La, 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 la. I have those Foxxes for the. I think everybody's got those wooden.
Oh, yeah.
Paul Lewis says, with the cost of living continuing to rise, is anyone having to cut back on buying kits, tools, paints, or aftermarket products?
Yes.
Always a ray of sunshine, is our Paul.
Yes, mate. I currently ain't buying any Warhammer kits at the moment, purely simply I've got a backlog of stuff to paint. Yeah. And I'm not adding kits to my stash at the moment because, you know, like you say, we all feel the pinch. You know, and the cost of living strikes, you know, and the first thing people will do is cut patrons and things like that. So as our revenue goes down, we kind of stop buying stuff at the moment because you just can't do it.
I mean, I've been very lucky over the past couple of months that I've, had birthday and Christmas and stuff, and I've had money given to me. So I've been able to buy and treat myself to some bits and bobs, a few kits here and there.
Yeah. Which
I kind of need to do anyway because it's a business, but also just stuff for myself and things like that. So I have been able to treat myself a bit. But other than that, it's just like a one-off because it's been Christmas and birthday. Christmas. I got a lisp. Christmas and birthdays. So I've been lucky this last couple of months. But yeah, that's it now. I'm done. There's nothing left to spend. So
yeah, I bought some paint sets and things like that so I can get a lot of my stash built, but yeah, at the moment it's I've been cutting back a bit because you know I've got 67 kits in my stash. I kind of got enough models now.
Yeah,
you know, and I like I say, I bought painting stuff and paint so I can get them done. Once I thinned me stash down a bit, then you know I might be tempted to delve in and get a few more kits. But at the moment, I kind of want to get built what I've got. Because there might be a time when I have to stop building because of my health. And I don't want to miss out on these builds because I've been looking forward to doing a lot of them.
Yeah. I mean, the way I see it for me personally is that it's been a long time since we looked at a build as I want to build that for myself. More it's a case of I get a build and think I want to get that to build so I can sell it. So that's why I've, if I get some money in, I can then splurge like I've splurged a bit on Forge World and some of the Cromlech stuff. Yeah, okay, I did that, but that's because I'm going to sell them when I've built them. So I've got that fallback. So I've got the stuff in my library now that I can just crack on and get built and film. And so no more for me at the moment because just because I was looking to be gifted some income for a little while, Christmas and New Year and stuff. So it all goes on that.
Exactly.
I'm always on the lookout on Xbox for things like sales and stuff. I don't really buy games, but when you've got like AAA games for like £4, I'm like, okay, I can afford that.
Yeah.
That'll keep me occupied for 100 hours. I can do that.
Well, this is it. You know, I was going through stuff. You know, I've got Warhammer kits that I haven't built yet. I've got figure sets that I need to build and paint. I've got enough to be doing, so I don't really need to go out and buy more at the moment. I think the only other one I'll get will be the Roggle Dawn or whatever it's called.
Roggle Dawn. I finished a dude.
Oh, nice one. You know, because that's on me radar. But other than that, probably not for quite a while because I can just sit and paint stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I've got so much stuff in my stash now that it's all the stuff I've got. Oh, quite fancy that. And you got me on a bit of an orc kick, so I've got loads of orc stuff to build. But other than that, now it's like I don't need to get any more now. I've got enough to keep me going for like the rest of the year.
Yeah.
So my plan is to stop doing all that, buying stuff. Just crack on now with the building and the painting,
the painty, and all of that.
Yeah, I've got enough to do and be filming. I just need to get all the part work stuff done out the way so I can get back on with the filming.
Yeah.
I need to get my filming mojo back. It's been too long.
Yeah, that's why I've been filming the bike this week because I just wanted to get it done, get it on their bench, get back to it because Phil Bolton says, does anyone know of a cheaper alternative to X20 thinner? I'm not keen on paying $24 for an 8-ounce bottle. I make my own, mate. There's a video on my channel, Phil, telling you how to do it, mate.
If you're just using it for Tamiya paints, it's just use isopropyl alcohol, or like, or yours is like alcohol and a mix of bits and bobs, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's easy to make cheaply. There's a video on Colin's channel, but it's only really Tamiya paints you need to use it for, and you can thin them with that, your own made one, or even just straight up neat alcohol.
Yeah.
I haven't bought a Tamiya thinner in years. I've not really used Tamiya paints.
No.
If ever need to spray them, I just get a little bit of IPA and put it in there.
Yeah, that's it.
It's just alcohol.
You know, it's the only paints I use that for, and literally I've not used Tamiya paints for a long time now.
No.
Tend to mainly use Zero.Paints and that now for my cars. So,
I mean, if you can get isopropyl alcohol, or would you call it rubbing alcohol, dirt cheap, then you can just use that. If it's a bit more expensive, then, you know, like Festa's recipe gives you a lot more. You can take, what is it, like a litre of IPA, you can turn to like 5 litres of your thinner or something.
Yeah.
So you can just use alcohol, or you can mix it in with the stuff, and it's just like, what is it, water, and that's about it, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just, you just diluting it down, so it's just alcohol.
James is off.
James.
See you later, James. There you go, mate. Thanks for popping in, buddy.
Jabella. Right, I need some parts cut off this. I built one dude in an hour.
I'm so impressed.
Last time I built one dude in 2 hours. B17 and B18. B17, B18. I don't know where they are. They are there. But they're not.
EC Ideo's in. Saying hello. Hello, guys. How you doing?
Hello, EC.
Nice to see you, mate.
Yeah. Guess what?
What?
Stuff.
I know.
Guess what?
I've got all the things.
Things.
All of the things.
You've got many things.
I know.
You've recently acquired many things.
PJ says, I don't need any more tools. I only buy paint to replace used bottles. As I stop buying stash filling kits, I'm only buying specific high interest kits. Absolutely, PJ.
The problem with me is that I can sit here and say I've got hundreds of kits in my stash or whatever.
Yeah.
But it doesn't stop the fact that I can be sat there and see something and go, oh, I need that kit to live.
Oh, yeah.
I can't help it. You just can't help it. And then, you know, you get the kit, and I've had my Space Battleship Yamato for like 5 years. I've still not built it.
No. Reese is in.
That was a proper, I must have that to live kit, and then I got it and then didn't touch it. Hey, Reese.
He's saying everyone loves a bit of Festa fluid. Yeah.
Oh, Festa fluid. I'd forgotten about that.
But yeah, I mean, I make that. I make my own glue, decal solution, airbrush cleaner.
Because I made it a glue.
But yeah, I mean, it has its uses, you know, don't get me wrong. But I find, especially with the lacquer paints, I'll use their clears, their thinners and that, because you're using a specific lacquer paint. So
yeah,
my homebrew thinners is fine for Tamiya, you know, but I wouldn't say make a homebrew for something like your Zero.Paints and your gravity paints, because you want a proper lacquer thinner for them.
Yeah, you don't need to have specifically that brand of lacquer thinner for that paint, but you need to have a proper lacquer thinner.
Yeah, you know, so I still, you know, buy thinners and that for them purposes, but not the X20, not when you can make it so cheaply.
Yeah.
You know, I begrudge getting ripped off at the end of the day.
Is your, like, mixing other stuff in just to get more mileage for your litre of IPA?
No, it's just a recipe.
Does it to improve it from just neat IPA? Does it improve it by putting other stuff in it, is what I'm saying?
Yeah, it gives it a bit more kick.
Ah, jolly good.
Yeah, it's got more oomph than the Tamiya product, yeah.
Ooh. More oomph than I'm trying to think of something that rhymes then, and I couldn't think of anything.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Did I just, oh yes.
Right.
19 and 20.
What is that? That's section 41. I am numbering these just in case they are handed, which I think they are, because that one's got the fuel cap cut out.
Fuel cap, la 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 la, fuel cap.
You may have seen the Sharpie come into play, but I'm just putting the section number of the destructions on the base of the seat, just so that I remember which one it was.
Remember?
Because I will forget.
What will you forget? I've forgotten. What?
Exactly.
See what I did there?
I did.
You know, I had the weirdest dream last night. Well, not this light. I set my alarm at 10 o'clock this morning. It went off at 10. Then I set my alarm for. I thought I'll have a snooze for half an hour. So I said for half 10. And sometimes in that, like, when you've got half an hour extra sleep, either you can't get to sleep or you have the deepest sleep ever in half an hour.
Yeah.
Well, I set the alarm for 10:30 and went back to sleep. And instantly went back to dreaming. And I had this dream. And it's like, right, Mama Wolf was upstairs in bed.
Yeah.
Because Mama Wolf is in the dream as she is just now in real life. She's like, a million years old and in bed.
Yeah.
But me and my dad, who died 20 years ago, were downstairs. And it's out looking out the front window, and it's 1980s, so there's like lots of net curtains up on the window.
Yeah.
And I looked outside, it's beautiful bright blue sky, and I said to my dad, "Oh, look at the sky, it's bright blue, it's a beautiful sunny day, apart from that big black cloud there." And that's not a cloud, that's an explosion.
Oh.
I thought, oh, that's a plane that's blown up or something. What's that?
Yeah.
And then I suddenly, like when you realise things in a dream, and I realised, hang on, if that's a plane that's for some reason exploded, there'll be bits of plane falling to the ground.
Yeah.
Oh. And then in the context of the dream, I suddenly became aware that there was like plane debris falling. I'm like, oh dear. And then like I heard this large whooshing sound as if like a very large piece of plane was about to land on top of the house. And I had that moment of existential dread. I thought, I'm about to die by being crushed by a fuselage or something.
Yeah.
And then it went whoosh, 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 clunk, and then stopped. I thought, oh, thank goodness, the roof stopped it. It must have just been a very large mattress, not like an engine.
Yeah.
It might be a large mattress. And then I said to Dad, I said, right, we need to leave now, the house now, and just get in the car and drive away from the impact zone. But you need to go and get Mum up because I can't get her out of bed. She don't get up for me.
Yeah.
And then I woke up and I'm like, I thought I better write that down just in case there's an air accident over our house.
Yeah, you have some weird stuff. Helen's into all of the white magic and all of that sort of stuff, and all of the ghosts and all of that sort of stuff. She's into that sort of unexplained type thing. And I've always been a doodler. So if there's a notepad by the phone, I'll always sit there doing a little doodle in the corner or whatever whilst I'm chatting on the phone. And she's an avid diary keeper, and she'll keep information that's on notepads, and she files old notepads away.
Really?
Yeah, just in case there's a contact number on there or something that she needs, in the future. Oh, yeah. And she was going through this box one day, and she said, here, she said, this is creepy. She said, you've got because I always, if I do a doodle, I put my initials and the date in the corner, just the last two digits. And I did one.
Weird.
Yeah, I did one that was from 1989, right? No word of a lie.
Yeah.
It was two towers, two airplanes, and smoke coming out the top of them.
How weird.
New York skyline. It kind of freaked me out because the date of that is 1989 that I drew that. And we all know, unfortunately, what went on to happen.
That's a bit spooky.
Yeah. A few of them doodles, of course, H then started going through them, and there was one of a train wreck in London, and it was very reminiscent of Clapham, and I said, yeah, could you stop looking at them now? It's beginning to freak me out, love. But bizarre. It is, and it's one of those. It unnerved me a little bit, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
Because I didn't think nothing of it. I doodle all the time. I don't necessarily think about what I'm drawing. I just doodle.
Yeah.
So I stopped doing it because of that. Because it did freak me out a little bit, to be honest with you.
And you need to what you need to do is get back to doing it and doodle me winning a big amount of money on the lottery play.
Now, why did I know you would say that? It's all about money with you, isn't it?
It's money, and I'm mercenary. I was always about money. I've got something in my eye.
Terrible he is. He's terrible, folks. He really is.
Hey, it's a living.
Yeah, don't ever change, dear. Don't ever change. He's got a cut on the back of his head. Fox. He's got a scar because he dropped a £1 coin once and it cut the back of his head as he bent to pick it up.
Yep. Straight up.
That's how they invented copper wire, him and his mum fighting over a penny. I'm not saying he's mercenary, but he's...
not saying I'm mercenary, but you know.
Yeah. Phil Bolt says what I paid for my 70s Yamato about 10 years ago. Oh, happy days.
Somebody actually asked, they said about when I said about my Space Battleship Yamato, he says, is that the 70s one or the new one or the old 70s kit? It's the 1/500th scale Bandai.
Yeah, it's the recent one then, isn't it? There.
Yes, Space Battleship Yamato 2199. So it's the remake series, which is really good.
Yeah.
I've watched the original, and the original cartoon series is like, it's a bit like watching the original Mobile Suit Gundam. It's a hard watch.
Yeah.
It's a hard watch because it's like of its time. It's like, whoa, no. But the modern one, Space Battleship Yamato 2199, it's the same story, but it's like, it's really nice artwork. It looks really good.
We've got a version A and a version B, boy.
It's the big one. It's the 1/500th or 1/350th. I can't remember. It's the 3 foot long job, whatever, 2 foot long.
Yeah.
It's really nice. I'm going to put like antenna wires all over it, like rigging, but it's not really rigging.
Oh, right, yeah.
But like on a real battleship, you get all the steel cables and antenna wiring and stuff. I'll put that on it when I get around to building it. Might give it a little bit of battle damage because it sees some battle in its time.
Absolutely. Do good, mate. I think you do a good job.
I will not be lighting it up because that's illegal. I don't do lighting. I don't have the skill. I don't have the skills, knowledge, or talent. And once I've built it, it will never get turned on ever again. So. Yeah,
it's funny. I did all that lighting in the bus and taxi, and I've switched it on about 3 times since I've done it.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it's a lot of extra stress for me. I just want to get the building done quickly and onto the painting. So.
Oh right. So it's got the number plate at the top, or it can have it over at the side.
Number plate. Stefan Last is in. Says, "Good evening. I can't sleep, so I'll join you for a bit."
Hello, Stefan. Lovely to see you in, mate.
He was in my stream this afternoon. He's struggling through a cold at the minute, so.
Oh, Lamekins.
Such sympathy, aren't you? You're so made of sympathy.
Absolutely, mate.
We're sad to see the Leiji Masamoto. I've take my lenses off. The Leiji Masamoto, creator of Space Battleship Yamato, just passed away. Oh, I didn't realise that.
Oh, really? Oh, blimey.
Right. Phil Bolton says, nice. I wish I'd gotten one. They were still affordable. Yeah, I got mine when it was 85 quid about 4 or 5 years ago. And they were still in print at that point.
Gone ridiculous. It's one of those. I can remember Vincent built one yonks ago.
I think he had the same one.
Yeah, Vincent in Belgium, and he lit it up, and it really was a beautiful thing. And yeah, it's up there with the Grail kits. I mean, I got one of my Grail kits last year, which was the Eagle Transporter.
Oh, yeah.
And I was going to build it, but I'm not going to bother now because PJ built one on a landing base, and yeah, I'm never going to be able to replicate that.
Oh, shut up. Build it anyway. It might do better. You never know.
It's my sarcasm, dear. Get the irony of my sarcasm.
I know. So was mine.
But yeah, I'm not gonna build it now because he's put me off.
Yeah,
it's all Paul's fault.
Have you put it in a box and buried it in the garden?
Yeah, it's currently water damage because I had so many tears.
Yeah,
that I flooded the room that it's in with tears, and yeah. All joking aside, I will get round to doing it. It's one of them. It's going to be a background build over many months. But yeah, I still really don't know. I know I'm going to light it a bits and bobs like that. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure where I'm going to go with it yet. It'll be one of them. I'm sure it'll have its festerization. It's not going to be Warhammered, just in case you was wondering.
Oh, it's rubbish.
Can't do that. Not the Space 1999. Behave yourself.
Such nonsense.
Yeah.
If you want to hear the best rendition of the Space Battleship Yamato 2199 theme, or rather just the generic Space Battleship Yamato theme.
Yeah.
Because somebody mentioned it. Do a Google search or a YouTube search for Wind Stars Ensemble Space Battleship Yamato.
Yeah, I've got to pad out for a little bit because there's someone in the chat and you might not be prepared for them.
Oh, I'm not prepared. Hang on.
So I'm going to pad out a little bit and...
Pretend you didn't tell me that.
I'm going to pretend I didn't tell you, but Inspector Clouseau is amongst us, aka our very own community, Carl Sagan. I still need to pad out more because I can hear frantic mouse clicking going on. He's in the chat. So a big hearty welcome to Jeff. Do you have a quote?
I have, in fact, the thickness of the Earth's atmosphere compared with the size of the Earth is in about the same ratio as the thickness of a coat of shellac on a schoolroom globe is to the diameter of the globe. That the air that nurtures us and almost all other life on Earth that protects us from deadly ultraviolet light from the sun, this is too long, that through the greenhouse effect brings the surface temperature above the freezing point. And that just stops. Oh, okay.
Sorry, I fell asleep there, mate. What was that?
No, that went on for far too long then, and it wasn't a very good one either.
Yes. Little bits of you died inside there, didn't they?
Yeah. Yeah, I need to find a little short one instead to take it back.
Yeah.
There's like 1,000 quotes been writing about marijuana.
Yes, good old Mr. Sagan. Legend he was. Sadly, died too young. Right. So we got a bit of that. I can't do them yet because I've got to create, design new wheels.
It says, hi, Festa and Foxx, and a big hello to everyone in chat.
Hello, Jeff. Lovely to see you.
Soundtrack for $21.99 is very good on its own. Yeah, but listen to the Wind Stars ensemble of this because it starts off with some of the other themes and then goes to the main theme. But it's the way they do it. It's just so adorable. It's brilliant.
So yeah. So how's the detective work going, Jeff?
Oh, that's why he called him Clouseau. Oh, all right, I get it.
Yeah,
yes,
Inspector Clouseau.
Yeah, he said in my chat today, he said, I'm determined to find out what Festa's secret is. You will find out what Festa's secret is when it's ready.
Absolutely.
When the time is right. The age of Aquarius. No, God.
Yeah.
Hippie nonsense.
Absolutely. Now what?
I don't know. I'll just say now. In the hope that it might spark a conversation, but I didn't think it through. But I appreciate your fast response time. That was good.
That was good, wasn't it? For me, that was good.
Now what? I don't know.
Yeah. Now it's in. No, can't do that.
No, don't even. Ooh, close.
Oh, that was, wasn't it? Suitably redeemed.
Yeah, you'll be talking about gangs next.
Absolutely. All right. So we got a bit of that.
Come on, folks, ask us questions. We run out of stuff to talk about.
Can't glue that in yet, but
Jeff
it just gives me an idea.
Pass me one of those donuts. Carl Sagan, probably at least once.
Yeah. I would like to have been behind him in a McDonald's restaurant just to listen to him place a McDonald's order. Oh
yeah. I think in reality though we'd probably refer to him as like toroidal sugar tubes.
Yeah.
Would you kindly spare one of those toroidal sugar tubes?
Yeah, would have been funny. Right, so
I mean, he's the only person in the world that could go gravitas, and I mean real gravitas, to such a simple line as, consider again that dot.
Yeah.
Consider again that dot. And it's 4 words, and yet he makes it sound very deep and meaningful. Nobody else can do that.
No. If you have not watched Cosmos, go and watch it, folks. You won't be disappointed.
The funny thing is, the more you watch it, the more it does lose its sheen. And you start to see some of the... But it's still just gargantuanly awesome, and you have to watch it. If you've never watched it, then just shut up. If you never watched Cosmos, you've got no right to take part in any conversation about science ever.
Is that up there with not seeing Blues Brothers and Kindergarten Cop?
No, because that's just pointless entertainment, so they're not quite so bad.
You know what else I've not watched? Well, I watched one episode.
You might want to stop before you dig too deeply. You've not hit the water table yet, but you're not far off.
Yeah, this might get me off your Christmas card list if I say this.
I know you've only watched one episode of Bluey.
Yeah, one episode of Bluey.
Yeah.
Never watched a full episode of Doctor Who. And I've not watched a full episode of Airwolf.
What you need to do, Carl, is you see that little microphone symbol? If you could just click on it so the red line goes through it, put me full screen, and I'll just hang out with the audience for a while. You've got no say in anything anymore. You can never complain about your bins or anything ever again.
Not forgiving me, are you?
Council tax is too high. Tough. You've got the right to complain about that.
I think I've done some good lately and redeemed myself, but I've just unredeemed myself, haven't I?
We can't talk about that, though, can we?
No. As much as you want to, and as much as you're desperate to.
I know you've done yourself a lot of good favours, but slowly, that we can't discuss. But slowly,
I'm undoing them all now.
You're whittling away that advantage.
So that's that. Okay. So I'm happy with that.
You've walked the old lady halfway across the crossing, but now you've just run off and left her in the middle of a big motorway.
Bill Bolton says, no, Doctor Who, unsubscribe. No, Helen, my wife is a massive Doctor Who nut, as is my eldest son.
Not watched Doctor Who.
But yeah, I've just never really sat down and gotten into it, mate.
You don't sit down and get into anything.
No, it's not that I don't like it. It's just it didn't float me boat, so I didn't bother with it.
Well, it depends which one you watch, though.
You know, and
if it's the old stuff, then yeah, that's probably likely to not attract you at all. It's the new stuff.
It just didn't really do it for me, so I didn't bother with it. And I get the finger of shame off of the wife for not watching it, you know. So yeah.
Put it this way, folks: if H can't get him to sit down and watch it, we've got no flipping chance.
Yeah. EC Idaho says, Colin and Fox, have you watched Arcane? No.
Never even heard of it.
Never heard of it.
What is it? Where is it?
Yeah. What is it? Where's it about?
Okay, no. If it's fantasy, it's probably not going to float my boat.
I've got no idea what it is. That's all right. They're all glued together now. He does. So
I'm still working my way through Supernatural slowly. I'm on season 2. It's getting better.
Yeah, I only did one season of that as well. Couldn't get into it.
No, the first season, it was actually really hard going because they don't develop the characters much at all.
Yeah.
In season 2, they start to bring in a humour a bit more. And the only reason I'm sticking with it is because I've watched an episode from season 8, which is animated.
Yeah.
And involves Scooby-Doo, and it's really funny. So I thought, oh, clearly they get a lot funnier in later series, so I'll stick with it. So that's the only reason I stuck through series. If I didn't know that, I wouldn't have even lasted through season 1.
Oh, dear. PJ's put in the chat, he says, Colin's secret is that he really does have hair. The baldness thing is an invisible hat fashion choice.
He's got a bald hat.
Yeah. I once had a mullet many years ago.
He went to watch a pantomime with Les Dawson. Les Dawson threw his bald cap into the audience, and he's kept it ever since. And he's refused. He wears it every day as a tribute to Les Dawson.
How does he know this?
I know all the things.
How did you know all these things?
It might be easy to tell us what shows you have watched, says Phil Bolton. The problem with you, Colin, is not that you don't like it, it's just that you don't sit down and watch anything.
No.
You can't tie you down.
I'm either at the bench doing this. Very rarely do I watch stuff. I don't know why. I've either got a laptop out and I'm doing Photoshop, CAD work or so. It's 90% of my time is to do with a hobby.
It wouldn't surprise me if you've never even watched a porno all the way through. Wait, no, that's normal, isn't it?
Yeah, no, I haven't, mate. Again, not a thing that floats me boat. I'm not one of those people that's got a stash of that sort of stuff.
You don't watch anything.
No, it's...
Wait, people have stashes of porn?
Well, you know, we used to always find forest porn. Most people have come across forest porn in their life.
Yeah, that's going back like 20 years, though. You don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Not since the interwebs.
That's not.
But no, it's like you won't sit down and watch anything. You can't sit down for more than 5 minutes without going and doing something else.
No, I get bored. This is the problem. I get bored because it's like, I think probably more so since I got my prognosis.
Yeah, you don't waste any time.
Yeah, I think if I'm sitting wasting time watching the telly, there might be a time where I'll be doing that I regret not using my time more wisely. Does that make sense?
So what have you actually watched a full either all of it of or a full season of?
A full season?
Yeah, or what have you watched everything of?
I've watched Star Trek TNG, The West Wing.
Oh, West Wing, good man.
What else? Band of Brothers. Watched that.
Watch that.
Bones.
Bones, good man. House, do you like House?
House, yeah, watched that.
Yeah.
Not long.
You've got good taste. You just don't use it.
Yeah, I recently rewatched House because I hadn't seen it for a while. Dexter, watched that.
Never watched that.
Other than that, I can't really remember that much, if I'm honest.
Have you ever watched I'm thinking now, The Mentalist? That's quite good.
No, never seen that.
I don't know how I found that. That was quite good.
Edward Leonard's in Squishy Alert.
Oh. Do you know what? I was playing Far Cry 6 the other day, and I was on this beach. Right? And I looked out to see it. It was sunset, and it was beautiful orange sunset, and the water was like on the. It was beautiful sunset, and the water was moving. And I'd stood on a rock and looked over, and there were like a whole like pod of jellyfish.
Oh right, yeah.
But they were massive, like they'd be about 3 foot across, and they were just doing that in the water like that. And I'm like, oh! I tried to take a video of it, but the sun suddenly dipped down behind the horizon, and it looked terrible. So, but it was like, yay, jellies!
Absolutely.
I wanted to take a video to show Edward.
Yeah, nice to see you in, Edward, mate. Hope you're keeping well, buddy. Oh, nice to see you.
La 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 la. Oh, it's based on the League of Legends video game. That doesn't appeal to me. Is that superhero nonsense? I can't do superhero nonsense.
Yeah, trying to think what else.
I can do Marvel stuff because that's funny, but I can't do DC stuff. It's not funny.
Yeah, I mean, my missus keeps saying to me, you really need to sit and watch Doctor Who. And I'm like, yeah. I could be filming or I could be this. And I just worry that if I was to extend or spend me time doing that, am I going to end up kicking myself because I've missed the opportunity to get stuff done? So I
mean, you could always take the mindset of there'll be plenty of time further down the line when you'd be more than happy to sit there and watch TV all day because
it's all you can do.
One of the options. Yeah. So why do that now when you can do that later?
Yeah, I have this inbuilt. It's a bit like when folks say to me about using my wheelchair more often and things like that. I'm like, yeah, it may take me half an hour to walk 100 yards, but if I get too used to the wheelchair, I worry that if I don't use my legs, I'm going to lose the use of my legs.
Yeah.
Does that make? Yeah.
No, yeah.
So, and I'm quite similar like that with the telly, if I'm honest. It's like if I sit there gorge watching stuff and not doing this, then when I suddenly can no longer do this, I'm going to be sitting there going, oh, I hadn't wasted my time sitting there watching that.
You suddenly find that's all you can do. But like, well, I've done all that now.
Absolutely. So I kind of have that inner fear that may happen. So I don't really want to tempt fate by not spending my time wisely.
No.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying TV's crap or anything like that. It's just at the moment. Yeah. I kind of,
when you don't know how long you'll be able to do something for, you want to do it.
I want to make the most of my time whilst I can.
Yeah.
Not in a morbid way. Don't want people think that.
It's a practical way, isn't it?
It's a practical way. There it is. I knew I'd seen the bit. I couldn't remember where it was.
It's there. There it is. It is there. There.
Phil Bolton says, I'm kind of with Colin. Doctor Who, Star Trek, SN World, Star Wars shows are about the only TV I watch anymore. Yeah, I've watched the 3 original Star Treks, Star Wars even. I've not seen any of the modern ones.
They're all right. They're not great. They're not as bad as remakes. They're not like as hair pulling out and screaming, hand-wringing as people make out. But they're not really
again,
great.
It's one of them. I just think it's been done to death, if I'm honest. And it's like, what are you going to have next? The Star Wars and the Wrath of whatever, or is that Star Trek? That's Star Trek, isn't it? Yeah,
and they already redid the Wrath of Khan with Star Trek 9.
And it's like, to me, they're flogging as much life out of it as Brian May does out of old Queen records.
Well, the thing is that, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that the series that have come out of it on the Disney Channel are not good, because they are. The Mandalorian is fantastic. Bad Batch is brilliant. The Clone Wars animated series was fantastic. I mean, it really was fantastic. Rebels was all right. The other one that was about kids doing racing was absolute garbage and lasted one season because it was terrible. I don't remember what that was called. But no, the series that have come out on the streaming service, they're actually really, really good. They've actually not really done a bad one yet, which is good. So that's one where I'd say they haven't done anything wrong with it. The modern movies are a bit rubbish, truth be told. I said they weren't quite catastrophic, end of the world, oh my God, you've ruined my childhood, because that's just pathetic. Yeah. They were just like, they just weren't great movies. They were just a bit boring. Yeah, they're not the greatest. But the TV content, I can't fault it. It's been great. Apart from that one series that I can't remember what it's called. Because it was just like, really? Yeah, there'll be time for the TV shows. You know, that time will. I mean, hopefully it will never be that way. And absolutely. But yeah, I just think, well, I've invested all that money into the hobby. The least I can do is sit here and actually build some of the stuff that I've been gifted and sent and bought as Christmas presents and viewers have kindly sent me. The least I can do is sit and do and film it and get it all done and dusted and see where I am. It's not even as complex as that. It's just a case of, do the thing you enjoy while you can still do it. Absolutely, mate. And hopefully you can continue to do it, but, just in case, do it while you can. Absolutely, mate. What's the phrase? Make hay while the sun shines or something? I don't know something what the phrase is. That, yeah. Never rub another man's rhubarb. I can't quite remember. Elephants don't eat rutabagas in the spring. Something like that. I don't know. Something like that. And that goes up underneath there, doesn't it? Of course it does, yeah, because his plates are poking out. Happy days. And that goes up underneath. Would you calling me and watching my film? Let's have a look at chat. Colin, if you like The West Wing, you should check out Madam's. There's no point telling him to watch something. We've just had Madam's Secretary. I've seen some of that. That's Elizabeth McCord, isn't it? I think, Paul, I've seen the first 2, maybe 3 seasons, and I haven't. I'm trying to think what channel it's on. I think it's on Netflix, and I haven't got that. I've not been able to watch any more. The one thing I've learned over the past 4 or 5 years is there really is no point in telling Festa to watch anything. I was lucky that I got him to watch 1 episode of Bluey. I treat that as like job done, mission accomplished. You can send the aircraft carrier back. Hold up a minute, Mister. DS9. All right, I may not have finished it, but that's only because I know I can go back and rewatch all the episodes with Kira in. Well, you'd watched DS9 before, though, hadn't you? I watched half of it, didn't I, of the first season, but I've never watched it from beginning to end. This is the furthest I've ever got in DS9. Well, although I would say I'd take that as a point of pride as well, but then it's Kira that's motivating you. So it's not really my motivation that's got you to that point. It's just... No, you used to tell me off because I only ever watched the first season of DS9. I've forgotten now. And you kept saying, no, you must watch more of it. It gets better because Cisco gets all naughty as he gets further into it. It's a bit hardcore. And then obviously I got Bajoran nose wrinkles and tight leather black outfits and Dax's short dress. And you might want to rephrase that because you just said, obviously I got nose wrinkles and a tight little black dress. I don't want to see you in a tight little black dress with nose wrinkles. Yeah, but that's put an image in your retinas now with it. Yeah, no, that's a bit like me in the Diamante hot pants, isn't it? It's in your head. This week I've had images of you that in numerous different ways that I didn't want to see. Some very specific that I didn't want to. Yeah, Phil says I had the same problem when I watched the first 2 episodes of Picard season 2. I watched Picard series 1 for 3 episodes and I started to lose the will to live. Yeah. And I don't know whether it's me because I've got older but I kind of thought TNG was good where it ended, so were the films, let it be. And I think rebooting it's a little bit... Well, yeah. Season 1 of Picard was terrible. Season 2 was right, but not great. However, season 3 is 2 episodes in, and so far it's actually really good.
Yeah.
And amusingly, it looks like they've just kind of said, you know what, season 2 never kind of happened. This is a few years later. Let's just not mention season 2 again. Bye.
Oh, really? They realised that it was biblical.
They've just started with a whole new storyline, and they've not really referenced anything. And so far, this season has started pretty well. I mean, most notably, because the end titles use the theme from Star Trek First Contact. Minced around a bit, but it's like, Jerry Goldsmith's the theme from First. It's like, that's a really good theme tune from the First Contact movie, and that's the best Next Generation Star Trek movie. Well, it's the only good Star Trek Next Generation movie, let's be honest.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we all remember Star Trek The Next Generation, Escape to Far Point. It was a challenge, wasn't it?
Well, it's like, with the movies, though, it's like the Next Generation, well, the first one was dead dark and terrible. Everything was dark. I'm like, I can't see anything. That was an awful film. First Contact was really good. After that was Insurrection, which was garbage. Oh, look, Worf's got a zit. Really?
Yeah.
And then after that was Nemesis with the Romulan. And it's like, all I remember about Nemesis was the bloke from Neighbours was in it.
Yeah.
In the opening 5 minutes, playing a Romulan. That was terrible. So
this is why I never watched the original series of Star Trek, because I really didn't like Will Shatner. I just found the whole Kirk character lame.
I have to say, personally, to me, the original series is kind of aged like cheese. It's not aged well. It's I can see why it's important, but it's not. It's not.
I mean, Spock I found compulsive.
Oh god, yeah.
But Shatner, I don't know what it is about him. He came over to me in that series as a bit like that creepy uncle that we all remember.
Yeah.
And I just thought,
I remember your creepy uncle.
Yeah, it's going to be Kirk pulls another weird bird, has a kiss and a cuddle, Spock's ears flap a little bit, and the other bloke goes, I'm a doctor, not a whatever.
Yeah, no, I mean, I love the original series, but it's so of its time. It's not really.
Yeah.
You couldn't sit and watch. I can't sit and watch it now. No. It's just not.
I need to keep them out and the wheels because I've got to do dimensions. So tell you what, Jeff has put a $5 super chat in. Thank you very, very kindly, Jeff, for your generosity there, my man. He says, everyone, what's your favourite model from a TV show or movie?
Oh, you know what mine is?
Mine's going to be... Well, there's 2. Can I have 2, Jeff? I've got Eagle Transporter.
Good lad, that's mine.
And vehicle-wise, it's got to be the Road Warrior from Mad Max 2.
In that case, I can have 2. And I would say as well, Eagle Transporter number 1.
Yes.
Number 2, Space Battleship Yamato 2199 by Bandai 1/500 scale. Even though I've not made it yet, it's awesome.
Yeah, I'm happy that I've got the Mad Max 2 Road Warrior car, and I am going to be doing that as a diorama video build later this year, folks. I'm hoping to do it in the summer. That's when I'm hoping to do it. News for PJ, I'm actually stood up, mate, because I'm being very good.
Yay. You know, if I ever get famous and make a TV series like a documentary about science or something, not that I ever will, but if somehow that ever happened, I'd demand that one of the filming locations would have to be inside a lava tube. Because then I could just channel Carl Sagan and say, I'm in this lava tube. Tube.
So we want to make one wheel. I'm only building one because I'm actually gonna film how I make my wheels during the week.
I made another dude, look.
Oh, mate, you've made 2 dudes.
It's not a dude, it's a lady dude. So
a dudette.
Dude.
I am so proud of you. 2 dudes on a live stream, mate. I know. You need to slow down a bit, mate.
I think I'm just happy that I've been able to make 2 dudes on a live stream, not that I've made 2 dudes.
Yeah.
The thing is, right, with Cadians, the old Cadian kits, once you've made one squad,
yeah,
you kind of get so used to them that you can. The first one you take your time. The second one, when you make another like 5 guys or 10 guys, you get faster after a while because it's the same figures over and over again. You get used to them. You know how to quickly clean them up.
Oh right, yeah.
And when I started doing these dudes, it was like take 5 times as long because they're all new and I didn't know where all the mold lines would be. And I'm like, you know what? Now I've got used to them.
Yeah.
It's actually quite a quick cleanup for these guys.
Yeah, PJ agrees with the Eagle Transporter and the Mondo Showen from the Fifth Element.
Oh yeah, the Mondo. You still that Mondo Chewen, didn't you? That big dude. With the
yeah. I 3D printed him the key for it. Ooh, and the stones. He done a smashing job of that.
Oh, damn great guns! Oh no,
he really did. He really did do a good job. Yeah.
What are we doing tonight? We're doing the 2-hour run, or what do you want to do tonight?
We can go to half 2 at the latest. Is that all right?
Okay. Yeah. I'm just thinking I won't start another dude then because I won't finish it otherwise. I'll chat Dolly for half an hour.
Oh, it's up to you. How long's it taking you? An hour a dude, isn't it?
No, I'll chat Dolly for now. I just don't want to have anything half done.
If you want to go at 2, we'll go at 2.
You go and you. I'm just figuring out if I should start building another one, but I shall stop building.
Got anything else you can glue together whilst you sat there?
Nah, I'll chat Dolly. You're right.
Yeah.
I just don't want half a build do because then I've got to have a bag of bits, another bag of bits.
Yeah.
I'd rather finish with a duded.
Yeah. Got no denubbing of anything else laying around nearby?
Nah. Not that I can sit. No, nothing else to twiddle with.
You're going to do chat, Don. You go careful. Are you ill?
I am. Yeah. So what will happen now is nobody will put any chat in, basically.
Yeah.
Edward Leonard says, Farrah Fawcett from Charlie's Angels. Oh, wrong model.
Yeah, good shout. Stafford Last says he'd love to get his hands on one of those Blue Thunder helicopter kits again. Built it back in the day, and Avanai did do What If Swedish Air version of it. Well done, mate. It is the only important helicopter TV show ever made.
You're an idiot. Phil Bolton says, there's my Airfix TARDIS kit and my 1978 Battlestar Galactica.
There you go.
Oh, Phil Bolton's put a $10 super chat in. Been a while since.
Oh, thank you very, very kindly, Phil. You've got yourself a bit of air guitar coming up on the YouTube shortly. Thank you very, very kindly, mate. It will be put to good use. You know that, mate.
Yeah. DC Idaho says, well, off to play some Cyberpunk 2077, good man, and then some Battletech mech painting. I'd just play Cyberpunk 2077 all night, mate, if I were you.
I'm just going to nod and go, yeah, I know exactly what you mean there, mate.
You know what Cyberpunk is. You've seen me play it.
I've seen you play it, yeah, but I'm just going to nod approvingly.
It's a game that's got you.
Yeah.
And Rudy's
That's right. I can remember you saying there was Widge involved. Talking of Widge, we've got the squig-offs to do as well.
Please don't say talking of Widge and then carry on, because that makes me suddenly nervous. What?
Yeah, talking of Widge, we've got the squig-offs to build, haven't we? At some point.
Oh yeah, I forgot about them.
We've got to paint the squig-offs and get them all sorted. So yeah, I shall be doing some CAD work on the rest of the Elder, Edward, and I'm going to film that on how I'm going to create it, mate. So hopefully you find that interesting. And I'm going to sculpt the towel of it myself. Just going to do a custom towel for it because,
EC explains he's playing Battletech tomorrow with his sons. It's another tabletop miniatures game. Well, it's based on an anime. On a video game, which is like mechs, combat mechs. I think it was based on anime. It's based on a video game as well. But there's also a tabletop version of it, so you get these little miniatures of combat mechs. You guys have me browser shopping for Eagle Transporter 22-inch kits now. If you can get the limited edition one from somewhere.
Yeah.
If you can get that limited edition one, I do recommend it because it comes with the absolutely fantastic cartograph decals.
Yeah, see, I couldn't get that one at the time, so I'm currently in the market for the cartograph decals. If not, I'll have to print my own, but
you probably have to print your own, I think. Oh, you can buy them separately, can't you? Actually,
you can, yeah.
You don't get all of the ones that you get in the limited edition kit. I don't think you get all the little coloured panels.
That's it, yeah. So if it comes to it, I might actually just airbrush it, or I don't know. I'll cross that bridge when it comes to it.
I mean, most people just end up, masking off and airbrushing the panels. Yeah,
because I do believe I looked at the price of the decals and nearly died of death, same as the metal landing gear and
the metal thrusters and stuff. Absolutely not worth it.
Yeah, that was it. The thruster belts. I was gobsmacked how expensive they were. And it was like
quid. No, because you can just simply do them gloss black, bit of C1, then a bit of engine grime and a bit of rubbing, and they look exactly like slightly weathered turned aluminium belt.
Yeah. So
I mean, I not to my own horn, but I'm quite proud that mine came out looking like slightly weathered aluminium belts. So, what was I going to say? I was going to say something, and the thing I was going to say was, I can't remember. If you can get that one, then Jeff, try and get that one. But if not, don't panic. You can get the separate transfer sheet, but I said transfer, do Games Workshop. But it's all the little symbols and markings. It's not all the coloured patches. So see if you can get the limited edition one, but it might be stupidly expensive. I think it was obviously limited edition. I think it's hard to print now. But either way, it's still a fantastic model. Take care all. Have a great night/day, as which applies to you, says EC Idaho. Take care, EC. Also corrects me that Tabletop was first for Battletech, the crappy animated series, and then video games. Tabletop was first, and we are playing Tabletop. Sorry, trigger slightly. I wasn't sure because I'm not that familiar. I always thought it was like a video game, but I thought that came first. Can anyone recommend a model kit, in quotes, for the model making guru GNU to make? Let the mockage begin.
Oh, dear. Oh, where do we begin?
It's going to be an endless string of like galleons and flipping.
I would say a Rye-filled tank with individual track links. That would be fun.
Wouldn't really bother me though, because it's not that I wouldn't enjoy it. I just find it tedious.
Uber duper, super duper shiny car. That would be fun.
That would be not fun at all in any way, shape, or form.
Something like the Airfix HMS Victory with full rigging.
Oh.
Because I know for well we'd hate every single minute of it.
Do you know, in my mind, I can just see, because when I was a kid, for some reason, my dad got my neighbour to build me the Airfix Cutty Sark.
Yeah.
And he built it and painted it beautifully. And then I threw my Evil Knievel across the room and smashed it by accident. But in my head, I can just see that sheet of vacuum-formed sails that you got with Airfix boat kits.
Yeah, that's the one.
Kind of, it was sort of that colour, that kind of cocktail stick colour, and it was ever so slightly translucent.
Yeah.
Was it a sheet of the individual? I think
it was 1970s Magnolia, wasn't it?
Yeah. Was it like a single sheet we had to cut the sails out?
It was a single sheet, and you had to trim every single individual sail out.
Basically, vacuum formed, flippy floppy. Oh God, I can see them.
Yeah.
Oh, in my head.
Yeah, it's absolutely.
Yeah, look. Yeah. And you got the rigging, which is this rubber stuff that was like, in reality, it'd be a rope about 3 foot across, but. Oh. Edward Lennon bought the cartograph decals. They're printing new ones, but they are not cartograph anymore. Well, that's no good then. If they're not cartograph, what are they? That's not good. Cartograph, the best. Mechs were based on Macross and Dogram animated series from Japan. It's easy. I think Macross was one of the earliest ones, wasn't it? Of the mecha type stuff. I didn't know this, but I'm sure I read somewhere, because I've never watched Macross, right? But I always thought in my mind it was typical, like, mecha type, two warring factions fighting each other with these fighter planes that also walk. Apparently, it's a musical. It's all about, like, pop idols and stuff. I read somewhere it's all about singing and pop idols and combat, and I'm like, oh, really?
Really?
Because I read that, I thought, I can't be right. I always thought it was some kind of, like, combat mecha. Like, no, apparently it was. Somebody tell me if I'm wrong, because I've never watched it, but is it all about, like, singing and music and stuff? Have I just fever dreamed that at some point?
I think you've had one of them special Fox dreams again, where you're leading the entourage in a musical.
Somebody put some peyote in my pot noodle or something. I don't know. Almost any kit with tons of microscopic photo etch parts, says Phil. I don't mind photo etch. Jeff says, I don't know. The Metal Earth kit would be nice. No interest in them. Because they don't look that good when you do them.
Yeah.
They're fun, but oh, got sniffly nose.
I can just imagine the sheer hell that would bring you doing that.
Well,
it'd
be like, oh look, it's just a metal thing. It just wouldn't interest me at all. I'd be like, I'd rather have a good-looking kit. Stefan Lass says, I did enjoy the Airwolf Series 2, but the helicopter itself, which was a Bell 22B, a triple 2B, while a good-looking one still just looked like a regular helicopter, Blue Thunder, on the other hand, looked brutal. Blue Thunder looked underfed. Airwolf was like a killer whale.
Oh, dear.
Sleek and black with his white belly.
Airwolf is for namby-pambies.
Airwolf is kick-ass. Paul Lewis says, my recommendation for Foxx is that huge Titanic kit with its 16 sheets of photo etch. No.
Oh, yeah.
That wouldn't bother me, apart from it wouldn't fit on my bench.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be that interested in it.
Yeah.
I'd love to do that big trumpeter U-boat, but again, it wouldn't fit on my bench.
Yeah, I must admit, that is one, or a proper big battleship I'd like to have a go at doing. But my problem is I've got nowhere to put it.
The Tamiya 1350 Enterprise with all the aircraft on the landing platform, on the landing deck, because it's got all the Grumman interceptors and stuff and growlers and things.
Yeah.
Phil Bolton says, no, it's a mech show, but one of the characters is Pop. So yeah, I know it's a mech show, but for some reason I read somewhere, I'm sure that it was all about like music and pop, but I guess it's not. Just one of the characters happens to be. I knew there was something about one of them being a pop idol or something like that. I was like, really? Phil Bolton says to Paul, doesn't Ted have the Titanic covered? Yeah, covered and not touched for months.
Yeah, I think he's losing the will to live, bless him, isn't he?
I have to look at it.
Yeah.
The thing is, he's been through a lot in the last couple of years, as we all know.
Yeah.
Given what he's been through, to try and get back at the bench and then be confronted with that big thing, sitting there saying, finish me. It's bad enough when you go back to your bench and you've got a half-finished build that you're like, I've not got the mojo for that. You can put it in a box when it's the size of your bench.
Yeah, bless him. He would be better off at the moment grabbing something as a quick win, getting that built, and then coming back to the Titanic and doing it as a background build.
Yeah. Edward says, some wingnut wings kit with lots of wings and ringing. I'd love to do a biplane, actually. I made biplanes as a kid.
Yeah, I've got Easy Stash.
Yeah, now I've got Easy Line.
Yeah.
It's an easier way to do the proper biplane rigging. Plus,
absolutely.
I think the wingnut kits have all the little holes in the wooden risers where the wire would actually go through anyway. I think they're properly rigged, aren't they? So
I'd like to do a wingnut wings, but it's getting old of one and the price is prohibitive, isn't it?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But I do like I don't really have much of an interest in aircraft, but when it comes to biplanes just look fantastic. I love biplanes because they're just made of paper and wood.
Yeah.
And they're not going to be shiny. You can't really weather them much. That's the only downside. I don't really know how you weather a biplane to look used.
Yeah, I mean,
Is it be cotton? They're all like cotton or like canvas, aren't they? Canvas over wooden frames and stuff.
Yeah. Well, this is it. Years and years ago, when I was a teenager, I did the Wright Brothers plane out of the balsa wood and paper. Do you remember them kits?
Oh, God, yeah.
The balsa wood and tissue paper. And that was great fun. Yeah. Absolutely loved doing that. But yeah, the Titanic and things like that, you know, they are nice kits. Same with the wingnut wings, but it's the cost, mate.
When I was a kid and I used to make models and play with them.
Yeah.
Because they were just better looking toys. I used to love getting it, like biplanes. I wouldn't play with like model jet fighters and make the noises. And when I was a little kid, I wouldn't be interested in that at all. But give me a biplane. Oh, and you have it like flying towards you as if you're the cat. Because the thing is, when I grew up, my dad was a cameraman.
Yeah.
So I had this weird thing that when I was playing with toys, I would be the camera.
Yeah.
So whenever I'm doing something with a car, I would be looking. Where I was looking was the point of view of the camera.
Oh, right.
So I wouldn't just play with toy cars and drive around. I'd be doing things like, I'd be trying to say I'm doing a car chase, 2 toy cars, and I've been watching, say, the A-Team.
Yeah.
What I'd do is the car chasing would hit something and roll over and then land on its driver's side rear tail light, like they always did in the A-Team.
Oh, right, yeah.
And what I'd do is, if it didn't have them in there, I'd put little blue tack figures in the driver and passenger seat. And then I'd always make sure that when it went onto its roof, you couldn't quite see the people inside the car because you weren't supposed to see there were stuntmen.
Oh, right, yeah.
So I'd be like, because my dad would always, when we watched TV, my dad would be telling me how camera stuff worked and how they film things and stuff. So I couldn't play a game of toys without being the camera. And then reproducing the things that they would do, like, you'd never quite see the driver's face in the car because it's a stuntman, and he'd be in silhouette because of the. So yeah, it took 3 years for the real Titanic to be built. How long has Skipper Ted had his now? By the way, I'm still a patron of Skipper Ted.
Yeah, bless him.
Yeah,
he's had without giving away too much, he has had some issues away from the hobby, should we say?
Yeah,
so,
he's been had a poorly couple of years.
Yeah, he's been poorly bad at a few occasions. So we mock him for the Titanic. Don't get me wrong, but
yeah, we do because we can.
We do know that he's had some issues away from the hobby.
Challenges.
Challenges. There you go.
Yeah.
So
one was that restraining order. I mean,
yeah, I think it was the glitter that done it.
Yeah. I told you to talk about gangs.
Yeah.
I put my little pin vise back in its little flag because it's the specific one for these gun barrels. I'm going to have to keep this forever as the official new Astra Militarum barrel size drill bit.
Oh, are you?
It's like tiny. The smaller barrels, somehow I've managed to, and you won't see on camera. I'll see if I can. Got a good looking one. See if I can zoom in a bit. That's an ugly one that I didn't do so well. I'll show you. Then they're really tiny. I'll see if I can zoom in a bit.
Yeah, go for zoomage. You know you want to. Do you want to go full screen?
Oh, let me focus, wet monkey. No, you're fine. There we go. I need to clean it up, actually. I've just got to put some glue on it to tidy it up. Now, I haven't really bored that one out all the way. I normally widen it with a knife a little bit.
Only done half a job then, is that what you're saying?
No, because it actually looked all right. But for some reason, somehow, I've been able to actually... Normally when you drill a barrel out, you usually get it off a little bit and you have to adjust it with a knife.
Yeah.
It looks a bit shiny because I've just put some glue on it to smooth around the edges. But somehow with these las rifles, I've been able to get them pretty much in the middle each time.
Oh, right, yeah.
And I don't know if it's just because they're so small, but they're like smaller than anything else I've ever had to do. So I had to find a brand new drill bit that's exactly the right size.
Oh, you ledge.
Because normally you can just use the smallest Games Workshop drill bit for like las rifles and stuff. And they work pretty well, but these are actually smaller. But the tricky thing with them is it's not just like a barrel, it's not just like a hole in the end of a tube because you've got the cowling that goes over the top and has an angle on it. So I think that helps because it gives you an edge to get in the middle.
Yeah.
So I've done better with these. So I'm enjoying drilling these barrels out because that little cowling just makes it easier to hit the middle.
Yeah. Helps you get it central because nothing worse than when it's Brahms and list.
It's easily fixed. You have to go around with a knife and carve it out, but then you end up with a really wide barrel, which is great on orc stuff. Best of luck to our very own Skipper Ted, says Jeff.
Absolutely. Absolutely. He'll be fine. It's just...
He's gone back to normal now and he's driving around going to his distillery tours.
He's getting back to normal, mate. But I think, like anything, it just knocked him for 6, didn't it?
Yeah.
Bless him.
But yeah, I'd quite like to do a big biplane. I mean, the only tricks with biplanes, the only fiddly bit is getting. I mean, when I built them as a kid, was getting the wings to. Like any plane, you have to get both wings. What was that?
That was a belch.
Was it? Like waterfowl. It's getting both wings on either side to line up, and usually they're not even horizontal; they're slightly cambered anyway. It's getting them to be about the same, but then you have to put the wing on top, and that's a single piece. Then you've got to make sure that all lines up. Yeah, that'll be a bit of a nightmare on a big kit if it's not tooled really nicely. He was out replenishing his gin supply, says Edward. Absolutely. He does that very regularly because he runs out of gin all the time.
Yeah, you can't have Ted running out of gin.
No. I mean, at least 10 squeeze bags a week. Drip bags. He's got one of them things with like you see in hospital where they walk around with the drip bag on that big stand.
He's got one of them. Yeah,
but it's not for drip. It's not for a saline drip anyway.
Oh no, it's got optics hanging off of it, mate.
Oh yeah. He's got a little mini bar in his house. It's just gin.
It's a shame. I mean, we've had the pleasure away from the whole e-models thing and all of that lot of the interwebs. We've had the pleasure of doing an hangout with a, how can we say, slightly drunk Ted. Is that the easiest way of saying it? Well, he was pretty well gone, wasn't he?
It's like tired and emotional, perhaps.
Yeah, and it was hilarious because his entire inhibitions went, and it was, it was funny.
It was fun finding out his opinion on various.
Oh yeah, because adult Ted was out and Larry Ted, it was absolutely hilarious. It really was.
What do you think about this channel?
Yeah, it was quite fun. It's all Ted using grown-up words. God, once he started, it was Ted's having a wibble now.
he may be Skipper Ted, but he's real like Able Seaman Ted when he gets down to the brass tacks.
Oh, it was hilarious, wasn't it? Of course, that was it. We started encouraging him then.
No, it didn't take a lot of encouragement.
It didn't, did it? We proper had him going. He said, "You lot, I brought out the worst of me. Us? Don't blame us.
We ain't done nothing.
Ain't done nothing. It was him."
Yeah.
But yeah.
We are cruel.
It was funny.
Right, have you got any questions, folks? About 15 minutes left, so
feel free to ask us. I'm just getting stuff packed away now because I've gone as bit of Donald Duck boy there. I've gone as far as I can go there, so we'll get ready to start wrapping up for you all.
Aye, wrapping. I'm wrapping.
Because I've got to make new wheels, so I'm keeping one wheel out. I've got all these sub-assemblies ready, and I'll be continuing this on the Sunday stream with Dangerous.
You've got to go and have your... what's that on the inside of the roof of that Landy body shell?
I don't know. I'll have a look in the set, mate. 2 secs. Put in the...
little D-shaped box.
Let's have a look.
I like it. There's little D-shaped things in the roof.
That's for the vents at the top there. If you put the vents on. You know the little. Well, you probably won't know because you didn't. Things. Yeah, we only had the little tiny front cab, didn't we? But these are little open, flappable air vents that you could open up. But,
I had the back bit as well, but I didn't have the full long wheelbase. So
mine had was just a little.
Bit
of the roof, and this part was all the A-frame for the crane.
Yeah, mine was the short wheelbase full cab version.
Yeah. I'm looking forward. I'm hoping the paint job's going to do it justice. I'm going to go for it. So,
interested to see what you do.
Yeah, but it's it can all get separated into its sub-assemblies, then ready for paint. So,
can you imagine a Martini Racing Land Rover?
Cool, yeah. So, get that all done. Get the interior all done. Happy days.
See, if I was making a Land Rover, I'd have to figure out how to make enormous balls of moss in the corner of every window.
Yeah. You'd also have to do a little nest, wouldn't you, in the corner of the engine compartment?
Yeah. And what I'd do is I'd have the bonnet open.
Yeah.
Of course, I'd have to have the spare wheel on the pavement because you can't have the bonnet open with the wheel on because you couldn't do that. You could do it, but you might die. Yeah,
this one, the wheel's going on the roof on this one.
Well, I had the spare wheel on the back and I had a pretend spare wheel on the front.
Yeah.
I said, when I bought it, I said to the guy, "Have you got an old wheel you don't want to sell?" He said, "What do you mean?" I said, "Well, I've got a spare on the back. I want one on the bonnet. I have to have a wheel on the bonnet."
Yeah.
I said, "I can't have a Land Rover with a bonnet mount, and so I don't want a nice wheel. Just give me a shitty old wheel that you're going to throw out."
Yeah, one with a bolt tyre, anything like that.
Yeah. So he gave me this crappy old wheel with the white hub and stuck it on. I'm like, brilliant, now it's a Land Rover.
What's that he's saying there? Cole says, Phil, have you built and painted many non-40k figure models? Yeah, I do figure painting in the background, mate. You want about busts and things like that?
Small scale figures.
But yeah, I've got busts that I paint.
Festa likes a nice bust.
I 3D print things like that, and I sit and figure paint. That's what I do as a relaxing thing between video builds. I'm often asked, what do you do between video builds? I figure paint. I print off figures like this, stuff from Vikings, Batman, things like that. And I sit and paint figures because, So, I do paint non-Warhammer stuff.
Yeah, you're not really a traditionally Warhammer builder anyway. You're just
no, it's just something I did as a sideline. It gave us an opportunity of doing some streams together, wouldn't it? And
I don't paint figures like that, like small scale figures like the busts and stuff. I have painted figures before when they came with kits, like if it was like a World War II vehicle or something. So I painted Tamiya figures and stuff. But really, since I got back into the hobby, I got back into the hobby with Gunpla. Well, I got back into the hobby in like 2012 or 13.
Yeah,
I did a couple of Tamiya kits. So I painted those. I didn't know what I was doing because it had been 20 years and I hadn't learned anything since then.
Yeah.
And then I got into Gundams and Gunpla. And then I got into Warhammer. So at the moment, my only figure painting experience is pretty much, apart from painting Tamiya figures as a kid really badly with Tamiya paints, my only figure painting experience really is Warhammer.
Yeah, I mean, you'll notice on my channel there's a couple of bits for the members section. You know, I've got figures like that I'm going to be sitting there filming start to finish on how I do the skin tones and all of that lot. Because a couple of me members know that I figure paint in the background. And they've asked me to film a couple because they're like, you know, I'd love to see what you do. But it's one of them, I've always done this as a way of relaxing. So I am reluctantly filming them, but I'll film a couple. But yeah, that's...
You should still pimp them even if you don't film them. Like say, I've painted this and I've done that.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a big stack of them along the shelf up there that I've painted over the years. And it's just one of them things I do privately between films and that. I'll do it as a way of relaxing, which some folks find very strange.
Yeah, we should still pimp them.
Yeah, these are getting filmed, these ones, mate. But, yeah, I will go through them all and start photographing. They need to be done. I'll dig them all down.
The thing I've found is that with learning to paint Warhammer, which was when I started doing Warhammer, that was me learning to brush paint because I'd never really done brush painting before.
Yeah.
Because I painted with Tamiya paints as a kid and they were terrible. So when I realised it was because I was using the wrong paints and I started using acrylics, then I thought, okay, so my experience of painting figures is just Warhammer. But that means now that I'm in a position where when I do some other stuff that isn't Warhammer, I've kind of learned some ways to paint figures, not in a necessarily realistic way. So you can guarantee if I do like a Tamiya tank or something, the guy's going to look a bit kind of tabletop-ish, but that's kind of the way I paint.
Yeah, that's it. You're not going to do a Warhammer paint job on a 1942 Sherman because...
No, but I mean, when I paint the figure, at least I've learned now some basics of brush painting, like highlighting and shadowing. So it might look a bit Warhammer in its paint job, as in the way I've painted it. But at least, because before I'd be like, I don't know, but now it's kind of took me. So at the moment, it's basically Warhammer figures. I do have one bust that I need to do, and that's one that Wendy sent me of that cat dude, that Jaguar.
Yes.
Like a 120, what is 1/12 scale cat dude. Yeah. And I do need to paint that and build it, but it's like, I've got no idea how to paint fur. I've got to figure that out.
That's another one Edward was on about, the rabbit on the scooter. I've got all the others of these, Edward, as well. I've got the chipmunk. I've got a load of these resin kits to do, so I've got the full set now. So yeah. But that was done in the Zoom hangout. That was just sat there painting it. You know, one of them said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Painting a rabbit." And I was like, "Hey."
Phil Morton asks, so are painting figures wildly different from painting mechanical objects? I would say no, but in terms of you're still using whatever your technique is, you're
still using the blending method. It depends. Yeah. It depends on whether you're going for photorealistic figures, i.e. a bust of someone that's well known. But if it's an anime, you use a different technique, you know. But if I'm trying to recreate a human face, then yeah, obviously I paint that a lot differently than I would something like Batman or whatever, you know, because...
And the thing to keep in mind as well is that if I'm painting, let's say, like I said, a World War II tank and it's got a tank commander, then that's no different to painting a miniature, like for me. So I can still use the same brush painting technique. So I can paint a 1/35th scale figure in kind of the same way. I could paint it a lot more realistic, but it would get away with the tabletop style. But the difference is Colin's figures that are busts, like 1/6 scale, those kind of things. That is a whole different way of painting to like tabletop.
I mean, these are ones that I 3D print. And yeah, I mean, on a face alone, there'll probably be at least 15 layers of different wet blended paint. Same with all the clothing. It is literally one coat on that. You wouldn't even think there's any paint on her. But you just build it up and build it up and build it up, and then you go in and do your hyper detailing with it. But I find it very therapeutic on nights that I can't sleep. You know, I've got probably about half a dozen of these sort of busts printed. And they've been printed a long time, and I just get round to painting them when I can. But it's kind of a whole different skill set. Those kind of busts and figures that scale. Yeah. Because on a say 1/35th or bigger, like so 1/35th, or 1/53rd, which is kind of roughly Warhammer scale, you can get away with like very simple base coats and layers and shadows and stuff. Like the face. If I paint a miniature now, the face can be like 3 colours and a bit of wash, and it looks all right at that scale. But when it comes to those kind of smaller scale figures like Colin's, that's a whole different skill set. I've never tried that. So it's like eyes. When I do the eyes, I always hold the bust upside down, purely because your brain gets tricked, and you don't end up with a Marty Feldman eye, a squint. You know, you manage to get the eyes perfectly aligned because you're not seeing that it's a face because you've got it upside down, so you can get them absolutely perfect. But probably, that's the toughest part of any figure painting is painting eyes, getting the eyes right, because the eyes are the entrance to the soul. And if the eyes don't look right, the figure doesn't. It's just one of them.
And the other thing as well is, I mean, roughly to answer the question, no, painting those kind of figures like Colin's is nothing like painting a mechanical object.
No.
Like I say, it's a whole different skill set that I haven't got. I've never tried it. I probably would suck at it if I tried it. I'd probably take a long time to get even slightly remotely good at it. A lot of people do it with oil paints so they can get the subtlety and the complexion and the blending. So it's one of those things that a lot of people do oil paints for figures like that. But it's simple things like, to me, a skin tone could be a base colour, a wash, and a couple of highlights, and that's it, done. It's a face. For that kind of figure, you can't just paint a flesh colour and then a darker shade. And it's got to be things like, it's such a small scale like that. That's where you start doing things like you need to add some blue and some green and some red to the skin. And where you're going to do the 5 o'clock shadow, you might use a very thin blue glaze with a hint of green in it. And you think, why would you put green in a face? It's like, you have to. There's colours in there. Like, you know, if that figure was wearing, say, a green top.
Believe it or not, Hulk turquoise will be used as one of the colours for the flesh.
Yeah.
It may sound really bizarre, but, you know, it's things like skin blemishes. You know, I could spend time doing 3 different layers of just different skin blemishes where you get a cocktail stick, flick your brush against it to give a mole or a slight blemish on the skin, because when you zoom into a picture of a person's face, the skin isn't one colour. It's not, to me, a flat flesh.
Yeah.
You know?
And you can do different colours to suggest different states of health or general well-being. Like if you use a lot more blue tones in the skin and in your glazes, it suggests somebody who's more gaunt and more poorly fed.
Another colour that comes in is rucksack tan, believe it or not. You know, and little bits, but not. You'll see it when I do the film.
So in short, painting those kind of small scale figures is not really anything like painting anything else. If you do a flesh color and some highlights and lowlights on that kind of thing, it looks like absolute garbage.
Absolutely. But yeah, I shall film a couple. I've said to the people that reached out and asked me to film them. So there are a couple of episodes already up there which just involved the priming and basing, just so that folks could see how I do that. It's a bit like the Xenophile method. You know, you put a black down and a white, or a grey, should I say, rather than a white, and then highlight a couple of bits with the white just to make it pop. And then you put such thin blends over the top of that. That'll probably take me 3 months or so to get that to a standard that I'll be happy with it.
Yeah. But that's the reason why a lot of painters will use, like I say, oil paints for that. Just to get the base flesh colours before they do all the stuff, just to get that natural tint and tone shifting, and because you want those a little bit of blue around the eye sockets, and they're a bit tired, a little bit of red around the cheeks. And
absolutely. Yeah, that's why I'm known as Festa, because I've got the big black rings around my eyes, but they're not black. It's multiple different tones of blues, purples, and things like that. And you know, I mean, I'm going to be actually brush painting them figures just so that people that don't have an airbrush can see that they can do it by hand as well, you know. But other larger figures, I've sat there with the airbrush dialed right down to the point where you could sign your name on a credit card, and I've airbrushed individual freckles and things on a figure before.
I mean, painting those small scale figures like that it's as close to actual painting on a canvas as you're going to get. As actually painting. Yeah. Because sometimes you look at, like, you know, you might look at, say, some Games Workshop artwork of a Space Marine and think, that gold trim on his outfit, on his armor, looks fantastic. It looks like real metal. Why can't I get it to look like that? And it's like, well, if you tried to do that on a miniature, the same techniques, it wouldn't work.
I mean, things like the leather straps that go across their chest, there's multiple layers for that. The material of the clothing and texture.
Yeah, you can put texture like cracking and you know, you're painting those leather straps. That's when you can start to think, this is a piece of skin. Therefore, I can include skin texture in the leather strap.
Absolutely.
Is it from a cow? Then it might have a smoother the skin texture.
There could be a blemish on it from where the cow's arse has caught the fence on a bit of wire or something, you know.
It could be some kind of animal that had rougher skin, and therefore you paint it.
You know, there might be a wound where the animal was in battle or something. You know,
or you get that natural fraying down the edge where the leather's worn away, and you've got that kind of rough texture.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's all sorcery, if you ask me, says Full.Build.
Yeah, hopefully, Phil, you'll see the videos, and it might just. I mean, my aim with the videos, not in a smug way, but my aim is to try to film them in such a way that anyone could feel that they could pick up a bust that's never painted a figure before and try.
I always try and pick up busts, but I always get arrested.
Yeah. And that's what I aim to do with them couple of videos. And if people enjoy them, then I'll do more. But yeah, it's not a quick 5-minute process. I do take a while to do them, but hopefully you'll see why. Yeah, you know.
You must forgive me. I forgot to do my buckle, so I just need to do that really quickly.
Yeah, but you know, if it enables people to think, well, I can get myself a bust and have a go at painting one. How I started, believe it or not, was, you know, you go into these ornament shops and sometimes you might see a statue, you know, like a Greek goddess or something like that, just in plain white. I used to buy the small ones of them from the shops, and I'd bring them home and I would paint them in colour, flesh, you know, eyes and all of that lot, just to practice. And that's how I started getting into it years and years and years ago, was just getting stuff like that from the shop.
Did you know that in reality, a large percentage of Roman and Greco-Roman statuary like that was probably actually painted?
Yeah.
It wasn't just all bare marble.
No, a lot of them were. It's like the Sphinx in Egypt that was painted.
And the Great Pyramid was a giant white thing with a gold thing on top.
Absolutely, but no, hopefully people will enjoy them. I've got a few that I should take down and photograph, really, and put them up in a gallery. But yeah, if it's something you're thinking about, Phil, that you're interested in, mate, I'll do more of them as time goes on, mate.
That's what I'm saying. Even if you don't film them, you should still pimp them out and say, "This is a thing that I do in my spare time."
Yeah,
it's showing off your work.
I've always been guarded about it because it's like it's what I do for pleasure, not work. Do you get what I mean?
Oh yeah, I know, but you're not doing that process on camera. You're just saying, "Here's the thing I painted. Look, there you go."
So yeah, if it floats your boat, Phil says I'm looking forward to seeing them. Happy days, mate.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I wouldn't say I'm the world's greatest figure painter, not by a long shot. But if I can do it in a way that helps people feel that they could have a go.
There you go. That's your reminder.
That's what I want. Yeah, I'll give her another 10 minutes, bless her. But yeah, if it's something people enjoy, then I'll do more of it. But
done. I missed off his little shoulder flips.
Legend. So we're going to wrap up for the night and let folks get along. We done well, mate. You didn't drop out. See, so got to be the time of day, mate, because, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's that particular time of that particular day issue. Weirdness.
Yeah, but I've got a contingency plan for that.
Yeah, we'll try it next week and see what happens.
As you know, for Wednesday. But
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Very clever one.
So, massive thanks to you all. Hopefully you've enjoyed tonight's little stream.
Because we're finishing early, I might possibly do a bit of a game stream tomorrow morning at some point, but I don't know yet. It'll be a real last minute job, so...
Yeah, make sure the ding-a-ling's rung, folks. I'll be back for a Sunday at the bench with Dave, where I'll be doing a bit more on my Land Rover, so keep an eye out for that. As far as I know, it's not E-Models this Monday, is it?
No.
So go on.
Well, no, go on. Sorry, you carry on.
I was going to say the next stream will be the one on Wednesday, the workbench at the E-Models at midday, won't it?
Yeah, unless you do something impromptu in the meantime. Yes.
I don't know yet. I'll see how the carcass is, mate, because I'm a day at a time at the moment.
Yeah. I'll be back on Sunday, of course, midday on Sunday for some Skyrim.
Yeah.
Because that's my slot now for a while.
Absolutely. And me and Dave are on at 2.
Yeah. I might try and do something tomorrow. We'll see. It's going to be morning to lunchtime if I do anything tomorrow. I said that will be eventually the Warhammer Sunday slot when we get back to doing Warhammer Sunday, that 12 o'clock slot. So, but I might do some pot noodle. Ooh, I might do something tomorrow morning.
Absolutely, it makes sense having that as the Warhammer Sunday time slot, the midday, doesn't it? Because it just transitions then into the afternoon show. You can get on with your real life stuff then. So yeah.
On the Saturday, yeah, yeah. I'll do Warhammer. I'll switch Warhammer Sunday to the Saturday, but
yeah, you're clashing with someone though, there, mate. So it's awkward.
Oh, that's the only time I've got, so I have to do it at whatever time I've got. Unfortunately, I have to work my schedule around Mama Wolf. So,
Jeff says, "Take care, everyone. Hoping to get into the 24/7 hangout sometime this weekend, but I'll be in there Saturday evening, mate. So you're more than welcome, Jeff. I'll be in there. So regaling the world with my inane drivel as I do. So yeah, if you want to pop in, pop in. Until the next one, folks, we'll love and leave you. Muchly thanks for the super chats. It really does help me keep me going.
Oh yeah.
And we'll see you on the next one, folks. Stay safe. Be well. See you on Sunday. Bye.
Yes, amoebas. Bye.
Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget. I use them all to push me to my best.